Turkish Airlines EuroLeague in association with
Here now, in this game, one goal, one team. Fight for that possession, gotta act fast. Another shot, another pass. The city comes to life and they got something to say. Come on, let's go. I feel devotion.
Hello everyone, and a very warm welcome to the German capital, where you join us at the magnificent Uber Arena, the venue for the 2024 Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Final Four. And we are just moments away from the championship game, as Real Madrid returning to their second consecutive final, facing off against Panathinaikos, Actor Athens. These two storied clubs meeting in the Final Four for the first time, and first-year coach of Panathinaikos, Coach Ergin Ataman, keeping the mood light.
First of all, we will enjoy, all of us, to play this final. It's proud for both clubs, but of course now it's only one game, 40 minutes. We will try to make our best aggressivity to put hustle for win the game.
Well, as for Real Madrid, they have been fantastic all season long, returning to the championship game for a second consecutive year in search of their 12th EuroLeague title, and coach Chus Mateo cherishing the opportunity that his team have earned.
We have to be able to react if the things are not going good, and we have to know that today is a good chance to get another title. We are fighting from the beginning of this season for this moment, and this is the day.
So this is it, the climax of the 2024 Turkish Airlines EuroLeague season is the championship game between Real Madrid and Panathinaikos Actor Athens, two of the most storied clubs in EuroLeague history, going head-to-head for the continental crown. Well, what a scene we have here in the Uber Arena. Panathinaikos fans out in force. The Greens in search of their first title since 2011. We've got basketball royalty in the house in the form of Hall of Famer Scottie Pippen, the Greek freak Giannis Antetokounmpo here supporting his brother who suits up for Panathinaikos, as we take a look at the bracketology that have seen us arrive at this juncture. Panathinaikos with an outstanding effort, holding Fenerbahce to 7 fourth-quarter points in the semi-final, and Real Madrid playing dreamlike basketball. A dominant first quarter where they were up by 18 at the end of it, hanging on to withstand Olympiakos' rally, and that is how they have arrived at the championship game. Well, the atmosphere is absolutely incredible here. Joe R. Lucas and I, my co-commentator, can barely hear ourselves think. Here's the pre-game show. Enjoy.
Hello, Moto.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2024 Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Final Four, Berlin. Tonight, we'll light up this legendary court with the ultimate battle for glory. Enjoy the championship pre-game show, presented by Turkish Airlines and Motorola.
We love basketball. We scream for basketball. We're devoted to basketball. So now, let's rock the court.
I remember when I lost my mind. There was something so pleasant about that place. emotions had an echo in so much space.
To the home of glory, Panathinaikos, Real Madrid. This is your moment. This is your chance to raise a trophy. Okay, people, I want to hear you scream. Let's make some noise together. What are we here for? When I say for, you say glory. For glory! For glory! Once again, Berlin, when I say for, you say glory. For glory! For glory! Okay, great. So please, stand down, my friend. And shoot up! The moment we've all been waiting for. It's time to celebrate the ultimate battle. Please, everyone, stand up. Let's welcome the trophy!
Can't stop. I just go. Can't stop. Can't stop. Can't stop. I go. Can't stop. I just go. Can't stop. Can't stop. Can't stop. It's gonna stop me now.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to start the official presentation of the final of the 2024 Final Four Turkish Airlines EuroLeague in Berlin. Let's start with Panathinaikos. Number 0, Panagiotis Kalaitzakis. 2, Luka Vildoza. 8, Alexander Balcerowski. 10, Kostas Lukas. 21, Ioannis Papapetrou. 22, Darian Grant. 25, Kendrick Nunn. 26, Matthias Lessor. 37, Kostas Antetokounmpo. 40, Marius Grigonis. 41, Juancho Hernan Gomez. And 44, Konstantinos Mitoglou, head coach of the team, Ergin Ataman. Now let's introduce Real Madrid. Number 1, Fabien Kozer. 5, Rudy Fernandez. 6, Alberto Abalde. 7, Facundo Campazzo. 11, Mario Ezonja. 13, Sergio Rodriguez. 17, Vincent Poirier. 22, Walter Tavares. 23, Sergio Yul, captain of the team. 28, Gershon Yabusele. 30, Eline Jai. And 31, Zanan Musha, head coach of the team, is Chus Mateo. Enjoy the game.
So both teams bringing identical rosters from their semi-finals out onto the floor to contest this championship game. And the two head coaches, both of whom know what it takes to win a EuroLeague title. The 2021 Alexander Gomelski, EuroLeague Coach of the Year, Coach Ergin Ataman. Title triumphs, of course, with Anadolu Efes Istanbul, Chus Mateo going all the way to the crown in his first season as head coach of Real Madrid. As we take a look at the head-to-head, as we look at the semi-final game stats, my name's Ronald McIntosh. I'll be your lead commentator. Joao Lucas, EuroLeague champion and legend alongside us. And they've gone for the marquee matchup in the paint beneath the basket between Tavares and Matías Lesor.
Why not, Ron? Why not? Let's go with the big boys down low. Tavares was huge in the lane. Him and Poirier with 7 blocks on Friday night. Matías Lesor was an animal offensively and defensively, so you have to know that these two guys are going to be the key, but we talked about it in a little bit of pregame. These point guards are key too. And starting for Panathinaikos, it's a two-guard backcourt of Jaren Grant, the defensive specialist, one of the most brilliant individual scorers in the competition, Kendrick Nunn, Ioannis Papapetro, Dinos Mitoglou, and Matías Lesor, the three-man front line. Plenty of size and athleticism on that front three. Yeah, and you put Mitoglou in there also to shoot the three, to extend the defense a little bit. Again, Poirier, Tavares hanging around in the middle. It's going to force him to go a little bit short. You see Nae getting the start once again, Ron. Indeed, he started in the semi-final on Friday night. It's Facundo Campazzo, Hazonia, Janan Musa for a towering starting 5, along with Eddie Tavares. So, the crew chief in charge of this pivotal championship game is Fernando Roca. How much physicality will be allowed when you consider the bigs who like to bang beneath the basket? And Joe, in Tavares and Vincent Poirier and Matías Lesor, old school bigs who aren't interested in stretching the floor and shooting the three. They'll go out to the high post and set picks, but it's going to be very physical down low. How much will the officials permit? Yeah, that's the question. You have to read the officials from the beginning of the game, see how much physicality they're going to get. You know, Tavares got beat up the other day and nothing was called in the beginning of that game. He just kept fighting through it. Also, Lesor is a quicker big man than he faced on Friday night. Mustafa Fall a little bit slower with his footwork. Same thing with Milutinov. Now he's going to deal with Lesor, who can shoot, but watch out for Mitoglou and watch out for Hernan Gomez coming in at one point to stretch out Madrid's defense. So, all of the players going through their final pre-game rituals. Even though Real Madrid were here last year, this the biggest game of all of their lives. So much experience on the roster of Real Madrid. 21 EuroLeague titles between the players on that roster. For Panathinaikos, in stark contrast, only Kostas Lukas has the experience of hoisting the trophy aloft. And that does make a big difference, Fran. I don't care how you look at it, but you know what? There's something to say about not being here before, being here your first time.
if you just enjoy the moment, play, as Eddie Tavares said earlier, play like you're never going to be back here again. That's the big thing to me, and a lot of these guys are going to let it time because Coach Adaman, you know, he cuts his rotations down in these big games. He did it on Friday night, and we'll talk about that throughout because I think that's going to be really important. Nunn played almost 35 minutes on Friday night.
So Dinos Matoglu just getting a pre-game feel of the game ball. Matthias Lasor, remember, in Panathinaikos' incredible road win in round 27 as we take a look at the head-to-head record in the Final Four. Coach Adgen Ataman, what a remarkable record he has getting through to championship games. First of all, remembering that run of 3 straight with FS when they lost in the championship game against CSKA, then taking them to back-to-back triumphs. Chus Mateo getting that title right off the bat.
And Coach Adaman will let you know about it too. He's not shy to let you know about running the tip-off. He talked about the fact that they didn't beat Madrid for 12 years until this season. They beat him in Madrid for the first time in 12 years. He's all about setting new precedents.
So the 2024 championship game to conclude the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague season is underway. Real Madrid, wearing their familiar colors of white trimmed with royal blue, control the opening tip. Panathinaikos in their strip of green, and look at the tussle out on the perimeter, and immediately we have a jump ball because Kendrick Nunn taking it from the breadbasket of Canan Musa. 2 thumbs up, a jump ball at the nearest circle. We're going to jump it up from center again.
And this is what Adaman teaches. He teaches aggressiveness from the beginning defensively. Your best offensive player on the floor makes the first defensive play of the game within, what, 15 seconds. Making statements, Ron.
So an action replay in terms of the activity, a jump ball at the center circle. Kendrick Nunn getting a hand on it, but guiding it into the hands of Facundo Campasso. Jaren Grant awaits. Ball out to the corner. Elian dive for 3, and he rattles it home. Terrific stroke, and what an opening for the youngster who's not 20 until next month. That is his 8th three-pointer of the season, now 8 of 30 from downtown.
And that's not what you want to see if you're Panathinaikos. And Ndaye hitting that first 3. We saw how they started on Friday, 9 for 13 in that first half.
And an instant riposte from the top of the key. Jaren Grant nailing it from 3-point territory. We're all square.
Jaren Grant, to me, was the key to the game in the semifinal.
Jaren Grant, a 41% shooter from 3-point territory, and he's looking from the wing this time. And this is an incredible start for the teenager. Elian Ndaye, 1 from the corner, 1 from the wing. Came into the game with 7 3-pointers for his career, and now he's 9 of 31 all-time. Mid-range J off the iron, terrific offensive rebound, Matthias Lasor. Recycled 14 for Panathinaikos. Kendrick Nunn off the mark. Mario Hezonja rises high to rip down the defensive board.
You know, we talked about Panathinaikos extending Madrid's defense. It's Ndaye who wants to extend Panathinaikos. So again, 8 points in a row.
Absolutely incredible start from the young wild card. In the semi-final, we suggested that he would be on for his energy and intensity on the defensive end, but he's showing he can get it done offensively. 8 points from his searingly hot hand in the opening quarter to put his team up by 5. Floater is off the mark from Kendrick Nunn. Athletic save by Canan Musa. A low 5 in acknowledgement from Mario Hezonja.
Yeah, but he's out of bounds when he gave him 5 right there, Ron. That could have been called.
Eagle-eyed Joe Lucas spotting that potential infringement as Campasso crosses it to Ndaye. 3-pointer from Canan Musa off the front iron. Low rebound Mario Hezonja. Instant mid-range J. And just as they did in the semi-final in the presence of Scottie Pippen and the Greek freak Giannis Antetokounmpo, Real Madrid come out rolling, but another answer from downtown. Ioannis Papapetrou makes it a 2-possession affair.
They're going to have to keep answering, Ron, if they can't get stops on the other end. It's tough to stop Madrid right now, but you got to score on the other end.
So Musa using the screen from Tavares. He rolls down the lane, catches it en route to the basket, tries to go glass. He's off the mark and fouls Matthias Lasor while fighting for the offensive rebound of his errant shot.
You know, and now's the time, Ron. It's so hard to actually run your offense this way, but right now is probably when you want to go to Matthias Lasor. Get him the ball at the foul line, at the elbow extended if you can. Let him penetrate. Try to get another foul on Tavares. Get 2 quick ones. That changes the game plan and the rotations.
So Campasso picking up Jaron Grant at the half court. It's Kendrick Nunn working from the hash mark. Low dribble, wrap around feed to Grant, looks at the 3, dumps it into the high post to Dinos Matoglu. Quick 3-pointer is off the front iron. Ball still live on the offensive glass. Last touch by Mario Hezonja. He doesn't agree with the call. That's gone against him.
He doesn't agree with it because he had 3 green shirts on his back coming from behind. Aggressiveness on the offensive rebounds by Panathinaikos. They're missing a lot of open looks right now, but they're going to keep going to the boards. You know how aggressive they can be.
Real Madrid, the #1 rebounding team in the competition, and they're outstanding on the defensive glass to leading that category as well. And that often the fuel to fire their fast break, the most potent offense in the competition, scoring 88.9 points per game. So Nunn. Down the right side, Tavares hedging to help. Terrific take to the glass. He went for the reverse, beat his man, but fouled in the act of shooting, and Eddie Tavares has picked up his second first-quarter foul, a significant moment. Rudy Fernandez up in arms. Eddie Tavares can't believe the call has gone against him. Neither can Chus Mateo. Eddie Tavares is going to have to take a seat on the bench.
You see it's a foul, too. I understand it was a late call by the official, but it was definitely a foul. Chus Mateo also with the argument, get himself a technical. He needs to be careful, composure-wise. You only get 1 more and you're out of the game. Tavares goes to the bench. Poirier checking in quickly.
Remember, Coach Chus Mateo was hit with a technical in the semi-final win over Olympiacos. Eddie Tavares, who all season long, and remembering last year's championship game, such a pivotal totemic figure, anchoring that Real Madrid defense. But 2 fouls in 3 minutes 20 seconds, and you're sending the best free throw shooter in the league to the line to shoot the technical that was called on Coach Chus Mateo.
Yeah, that really hurts the rotation for Chus Mateo. He has the options without Deck around. He has the options of putting Hezonja in at the 4 spot, which he's probably doing right now as Poirier checks into the game. So it'll be more of a 3 and an exterior position for Musa, as Hezonja will kind of take the inside, and Dye is hitting the 3-pointer in there, playing the 4, but it'll be Hezonja who will control the boards more.
So saw the lofty percentage from 15 feet away by Kendrick Nunn. Throughout the entire regular season, he missed just 1 free throw, then missed 2 in the playoffs in that epic 5-game series against Maccabi, from where he went 12 of 14, but regular service resumed here. In the championship game, he has made all 3 free throws with customary efficiency. We've got a foul, Facundo Campasso going careening over the baseline and colliding with the expensive seats just on the edge of the court. Let's hope that he's okay. He's taking a shot to the head.
Yeah, I think he's fine. He turned that corner a little bit. Yeah, he hit his head down there in the seats, but I'm gonna tell you what, this kid's got a hard head. He ain't worried about it. It's gonna hurt for a little bit, but you're gonna see him turn this corner and the foot kind of gets caught up with Grant's, and he goes down, and there's the momentum carrying him in.
Oh. Forceful collision with those expensive seats.
And hey, they're that expensive, man, they must be cushiony, right? If those are the cheap seats, he'd be hurt. He might be bleeding right now, Ron.
So Canan Musa receives the inbound pass. It's a run of 6 points without reply by Panathinaikos.
Wow.
Count the basket. What a tough finish. High off the box for Canan Musa, bringing the Real Madrid supporters to their feet. Look at the strength, look at the determination and the touch through that foul committed by Kendrick Nunn.
Look at the defense by Nunn. You got the ball down low. You stop the penetration. You got him on 2 feet. You touched it, it's going up. He maintains his focus, reestablishes his shot, takes the foul, and throws it in off the backboard. Musa's got himself 1 more, and we know he loves being at the foul line, Ron.
In the 2022-2023 season, Canan Musa set an all-time record, sinking 178 free throws. There's the World Cup winner. Dennis Schroeder in the house, and then Canan Musa with the deflection to bag his first steal of the game, right back to the cup, and it's 5 points in a row in a flash for Canan Musa. His team up by 6 once again.
We heard Musa talk about Friday night not having a great Final Four last year and wanting to come out and get it done early. He did it the other night, now he's doing it again.
Nunn has used his dribble, rotates it to Matoglou, standstill three-pointer, is drilled from the corner. Dinos Matoglou, 33% from downtown this season, brings his team back to within four.
That's exactly the reason why Matoglu's out there, to extend Madrid's defense.
Well, the fact that it's back to within four means it must have been a two-pointer. Now, is that a score for Campasso or a tip for Vincent Poirier? Either way, it's 2 points on the total of Los Blancos. So it's a two-score game as Jaren Grant works the dribble, drives through a heavy crowd. Beautiful footwork down low, pump fake, and how about that for a good finish? High off the window with wonderful delicacy from a player so widely known for his force. Terrific touch on the inside by Matthias Lesor.
It almost looked to me like he lost the ball, was going after it, and it got a friendly bounce off the backboard. Poirier!
Oh my goodness! Vincent Poirier charging down the middle, planting both feet and punching it all over Dinos Matoglou in a bid to silence the Panathinaikos crowd. What a bucket! Nunn, pull-up three-pointer is an instant riposte once again. It's a one-possession affair. Kendrick Nunn landing his first three-ball of the game to move to 6 points in the game after making all three of his foul shots.
Absolutely incredible move. There's help this time, but they leave Campasso open.
And Campasso needs no second invitation. Facundo Campasso with the trifecta. 32% from downtown this season. Real Madrid's lead is 6. So Lesor from the mid-post. Grant working the dribble. Elian Dye at the top of the key, doing a good job staying in front and hassling and harrying Jaren Grant. Shot clock in the red. Kendrick Nunn, turnaround Jay from deep in the corner, off the iron, ball still live on the glass, and then we've got a foul on the inside. Terrific job on the offensive boards by Ioannis Papapetrou.
Man, Papapetrou and Matoglou are just going at the offensive boards every time down the floor, but I'm gonna tell you something, Ryan. The last two possessions we saw from Real Madrid, number one was the dunk by Poirier down the middle of the court. And then the second one was the defensive rotation. Poirier finds open Campasso. That's what makes Madrid so hard to stop. They're so consistent and they're so fluid offensively. As we got a little break in the action here with 4:04 to go. Madrid up 6.
We're beyond the midpoint of the first quarter. We've got a timeout on the floor. 22-16 the score for the reigning champions. Well, Elian Dye won't turn 20 until the middle of next month, but what a start he has made. A corner three-pointer, then from the wing, and hitting on the inside as well. 8 points in a row for the team sensation.
I mean, you take those points, Ron, but Elian Dye cannot be your leading scorer if you want to win this game. I'm sorry. I love the kid, I love his energy, I love everything, but if he's your leading scorer at the end of this game, Panathinaikos is going to be taking the cup home with him.
So Florentino Perez in attendance, the Real Madrid president, on hand to see whether his club can lift their 12th continental crown here at the Uber Arena.
Probably talking about signing Matsula's back right there, man. Matsula, I saw him the other day playing in one of these press games, and he looked stronger than he did when he played, man. Ryan, you look up at the score clock here. 4:04 to go. Madrid already on 22 points. We saw 28 as, of course, sitting courtside. Why not?
Panathinaikos owner has been so instrumental in retooling the roster for this season. Ioannis Papapetrou to the free throw line. Just 15 games under his belt in this campaign, but my goodness, didn't he step up during that 5-game playoffs, practically doubling his scoring average for the season. In the postseason, he went 10 points per game, 2.4 rebounds, 1.2 assists, 58% from downtown, and 83% from the stripe, getting back to his brilliant best after an injury-riddled regular season.
Yeah, and plus he didn't play that well last year in Partizan either. He had a tough time. He's come back and looking a lot better after the injuries.
So whistle on the play on that take to the rack. It's Papapetrou who will be whistled for the foul.
You see the numbers, Ron. 6 for 7 from 2 already. 3 for 4 from 3. The possessions that they've missed, they've either got fouled and they've got to get to the foul line, or they've got the ball back after the possession. So it's, with Real Madrid, the key is you have to get the stops and be able to get out and run, because when they set up defensively in the half court, as Zendaya goes to the bench, I don't think he has that might have been his first foul right there, but usually he gets 2 or 3 quick ones. But if you let them set up on defense, they become tough. Ask Olympiacos on Friday night. Olympiacos had such a tough time breaking down Madrid's defense.
So Janan Musa remaining perfect from 15 feet away. Each team with 5 trips to the free throw line already. Myros Grigonis checking in for his first action in this championship game.
Again, you just get that feeling here in the crowd that Panathinaikos is just trying to hold on. And not, I know it's early, not let Madrid run away, but Madrid's intensity and their consistency on offense is amazing.
So full court pressure was being applied by Real Madrid. And they look to face guard the inbounder, but then we have a foul. Theo Papaloukas in attendance, along with what a club that is. So a whistle away from the basketball again. Facundo Campasso was wound up on the court. And I think he's been successful in drawing a foul out on the perimeter. And again, you've pointed out, Joe, how the incredible plays that he comes up with, getting himself in the face of the bigs and calling that foul. But that in a championship final, over 20 feet away from the ball.
I'm sorry, but that in a championship final should be a technical foul for flopping, if you ask me, Ron. I'm sorry to be critical there of the officiating, but that can't be called in a game like this.
Mario Hezonja, pull-up 3 with the shot clock in the red. It goes over the iron and off the glass. Hustling, getting down on the deck is Vincent Poirier, and then he trying to dispossess Kendrick Nunn. And you love to see that hustle from the towering figure of Vincent Poirier, hitting the deck without hesitation in a bid to rip it from the chest of Kendrick Nunn.
And how many times did we see this the other night, Ron, against Olympiacos, as they're trying to get their fast break underway, and they're dribbling down the court. It's Campasso, it's Poirier, it's Yabusel getting in the way and causing turnovers or jump ball possessions.
Third jump ball of the game. Now, has this one been stolen on the way up? I think Kendrick Nunn with a veteran's move. But catching the ball before it's reached its apex. So possession will belong to Real Madrid. Wry smile from the playmaker extraordinaire that is Kendrick Nunn. What a rookie season he has had. And from Panathinaikos' point of view, the numbers suggest that the more minutes Kendrick Nunn plays, the more effective the Greens are.
Yeah, 34 minutes, 34 seconds the other night, and I expected him to be on the floor all night long tonight. He'll get a couple breaks here and there, but we know that we talked about Adaman in his rotations.
So fouls being racked up at quite a rapid rate by Panathinaikos. Panathinaikos, who's Musa been spoken to about flopping.
I like the fact that Panathinaikos is playing physical. They're not afraid. The other day, Olympiacos had 3 fouls in that first quarter, and Madrid just dominated them offensively. So they have to keep getting into passing lanes and being physical.
So shot clock in the red once more as Campasso forced all the way out. That's a travel, surely. He left his feet, thought about an offload, then thought about a pass, and by the time he made his decision, gravity had brought him back down to earth. Turnover is the result. It's the first one of the game for the reigning champions.
And this is when you get into Madrid a little bit. You're going to see him come down. That foot goes down and makes the pass. Thought it was a good call by the official, but Madrid likes to get into the officials' minds a lot of times. It takes them out of their game.
Grigonis fakes the three-pointer, dumps it back to Slukas in his 8th championship game here tonight. All-time leader in that regard as Grigonis leaves his feet to pass, kicks it out to Kendrick Nunn, front iron on the shot, low rebound secured by Janan Musa, effective box out from him. So Janan Musa, my goodness, he is feeling it. The floater from just beneath the free throw line takes him to 9 points in the game on perfect shooting from the field. Kendrick Nunn leaves his defender in the dust, goes to the reverse, glides beneath the basket and finishes on the weak side with his trusty left hand. Canan Musa beating everybody down court, gets his own offensive rebound in a trio of Panathinaikos defenders and then draws the foul. Bad body language evident on the bodies of the Panathinaikos players, but that's an outstanding effort from Canan Musa.
Yeah, Musa is just all over the place right now on both sides of the floor. Here comes Chacho into the game. Musa is having the game. Nunn got to the basket, got a penetration. It was good for Nunn because he's not shooting the ball well from the outside, but it's Musa. You have to stop on the other side of the floor. And now they're going to bring in Hernan Gomez to see if he can help out inside for Mitoglou.
Incredible energy and intensity being demonstrated by Canan Musa. How he was able to secure that rebound off his own miss. Remarkable indeed, and as we've pointed out, this man is metronomically consistent from 15 feet away, an 85% free throw shooter for his career. Again, so much experience in the backcourt between El Chacho and Sergio Yui and Rudy Fernandez. Incredible depth.
It's not very often you have three players that can add up to over 100 years of experience out here.
And still doing it at the highest level. Rare miss from the free throw line for Canan Musa. It's a tough catch on the perimeter by Hernan Gomez. Rotated by Grigonis. Pull up 3 points with a line drive from Kostas Lukas where he nets it. Terrific shot making on that jump shot from Kostas Lukas. 5 points to deficit, just under 2 minutes remaining in the first.
That was probably the best half-court offensive play by Panathinaikos this entire first quarter.
So Poirier going to work on the inside. His national teammate Matthias Lasor staying with him, but from the top of the key, Gershon Yabusele drilling it from deep. A 46% shooter from downtown this season. That puts him number 10 in the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague.
If there's any type of kryptonite to Real Madrid, it's them shooting the three and not shooting it effectively. But these two games have been absolutely outstanding from outside the arc.
So the float up off the front iron from Myris Grigonis. Vincent Poirier runs it down. Effective half-court D from Real Madrid. So it's El Chacho using the screens. He's almost lost the basketball, but then we've got a whistle on the play as he went to retrieve it. So Matthias Lasor, a rather quiet 2 points and 2 rebounds. He's been on the floor for the entirety of the first quarter, but has yet to really impose himself on the inside. And is that really 3 first quarter fouls on Kendrick Nunn? My goodness, we've just pointed out the fact that the more he plays, the more it benefits Panathinaikos. Surely we're not going to see him again for the first half. 3 first quarter fouls with a minute remaining in the opening period.
Yeah, he'll be out of the game. I thought after that second foul on the Musa follow-up and rebound that he was probably going to be pulled out of the game, but Coach Ottoman, he's got a lot more experience coaching finals than I do, and he kept him in there. Trusts his player not to get the third, but Nunn is an important aspect of this team, especially offensively, and that's what they're going to need is offense tonight, because Madrid, with a minute to go in his first quarter, is at 30 points already, Ron.
Seeking a double-digit advantage here with a minute remaining. El Chacho, perfect from the free throw line, puts his team up by 10. Kendrick Nunn confined to this and consigned to the sidelines, picking up 3 first quarter fouls.
Well, you mentioned Lasort's ineffectiveness. You see Poirier is all over him, always off the ball, helping out. Lasort gets so many rebounds when Poirier or the other big man get over to help for a block shot, and he'll pick up the scraps, but Poirier's not giving him much of an opportunity to do that tonight.
So Panayotis Kalaitzakis checking into the game. He hit a monumental three-pointer in the semi-final. His only field goal attempt of the game, and he drilled it confidently. 5 points total in his perfect three-pointer, and 2 of 2 from the free throw line. And again, the energy and intensity that he brings on defense can be really disruptive and a real boost for Panathinaikos.
That's really what he's in the game for. If you can get a 3 or a couple free throws in the meantime, You like having him in the game for the defensive effort. He did it in the 5th game of the playoffs also.
So Kostas Lukas, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. His team trailing by 8, but Real Madrid piling up the points in a hurry. A 32-point period with practically a minute remaining. Sergio Yui onto the floor for the first time as El Chacho pushes down the right side, shadowed by Panayotis Kalaitzakis. But how about that for experience and no little quickness as well, using the aggressive intensity of Panayotis Kalaitzakis against him.
Yeah, you saw him move Sergio Yui out. From the time he crossed half court, you know he was going one-on-one.
So this 34-point outburst by Real Madrid, surpassing the previous 29 points conceded by Panathinaikos against Maccabi.
Yeah, we have a little bit of time for that stat to be added on to also, Ron.
Absolutely. But here's the move. See how he used his body to shield with his offhand to keep Panayotis Kalaitzakis away from the basketball. Got right up in the jersey of El Chacho, and El Chacho keeping his composure, getting his shoulder ahead and beating him to the bucket.
And you're watching Juice Mateo just rotate his bench back and forth. First it's Yui coming in for Poirier on a defensive play, then on an offensive play. Now on a defensive side, it's going to be Poirier checking back in, this time for Yabusele. So he keeps changing back and forth and rotating his players here with the last 25 seconds of this first quarter.
Well, we talked about the fact that Real Madrid's roster has 21 EuroLeague titles between them. On the floor for Los Blancos right now, we have Sergio Yui, Rudy Fernandez, and El Chacho Sergio Rodriguez. That's 6 championship games previously for Yui and Fernandez, 5 for El Chacho. That's the measure of the experience that they're able to bring to this championship game.
Coser's got to have 3 or 4 with him also, doesn't he? I mean, it's amazing the experience of this team. And now they'll probably run this clock out as much as they can. Oh.
So that'll be a warning for breaching the baseline when seeking to prevent Fabian Kozur from inbounding the ball. So it's Yui handling, being pursued by Juancho Hernan-Gomez. Yui calling for a screen. Shot clock has been turned off.
You feel it coming, Ron.
Holding for the final possession of this opening period. Gets to his spot, fading to his right, off the iron. We've got a foul because of the brilliant work on the offensive glass by Vincent Poirier. Got himself into position, sought to power himself off the court, was pulled back down to the hardwood, and it's going to result in a trip to the free throw line for Vincent Poirier.
He never stops. Look at him going up. He's already boxing out Hernan-Gomez. He saw the switch happen. Hernan-Gomez with the foul, pulling him down to the floor. Coach Adamman said there's a lot of acting going on out here right now in the white jerseys.
Well, we posed the question before the opening tip as to how much physicality is going to be permitted. And it's Real Madrid who seem to have got on the same page as the officials more quickly, more efficiently than Panathinaikos. Both teams in the penalty, but Real Madrid going to the free throw line yet again. And they've only missed once so far. Now 7 of 8 from the stripe in their 35-point total. So Vincent Poirier gets the shooter's roll. It's an 11-point lead. 3-quarter court heave. Doesn't draw Ryan. Well, Real Madrid finding their offensive flow immediately. Elian Dai gave them a dream start, scoring the first 8 points for the reigning champions. And with the first quarter in the book here at the Uber Arena, it is a double-digit margin of advantage. Real Madrid 36, Panathinaikos Actor Athens 25. Well, some of the highlights from the first quarter. Elian Dai opening the scoring, first of all with a corner trifecta. And then to prove that it wasn't a fluke, he spotted up from the wing on the perimeter and drilled it from there. Who did they go to? The man with a hot hand for their third score in a row. Elian Dai getting the finish off the feed from Facundo Campasso. The three-pointer in response from Panathinaikos. Panathinaikos 4 of 8 from downtown. Facundo Campasso doing an outstanding job already, dishing out 2 assists along with 5 points on perfect shooting from the field. But Canan Musa leading all scorers with 10 points in the game. Terrific energy, and that epitomized on that power jam on the interior by Vincent Poirier. Costas Lucas with the line drive 3. But you get the sense that Panathinaikos have been clinging on to the coattails of the reigning champions, and they faced a double-digit deficit with 10 minutes in the book. So we go inside the numbers then. 50% from downtown is impressive shooting on 4 of 8 from Panathinaikos, but that is being bested by a more efficient 4 of 6 from Los Blancos. They've got a slight edge on the boards, and they forced Panathinaikos into 2 more turnovers. An outstanding first quarter of basketball produced by Real Madrid. They have yet to trail in this fixture, paced by Canan Musa. 10 points and 3 boards on wonderful energy and efficiency. Well, it remains a carnival atmosphere here at the Uber Arena, largely provided by the overwhelming support Panathinaikos are receiving from this capacity crowd here, as Costas Lucas, using the pick from Antetokounmpo, gets to the goal to move to 5 points in the game.
And Lucas has given his experience to his team right now. The rest of the team has to pick it up. Yabusel wide open.
So Gershon Yabusele, 2 of 2 from downtown, 6 points in the game, as Real Madrid continuing to light it up from long range as we see the 5 on the floor for the green.
You know, they have to do something here. Panathinaikos has to do something. They put Antetokounmpo into the game to try to be a little bit more aggressive, but the ball movement of Real Madrid and the offensive fluidity is absolutely amazing. They're getting wide open shots. You got to get out on the three-point shooters, make them penetrate. That's the only thing they could do. Maybe get some defensive rotations and get into the passing lanes and get out and run the ball if possible. But right now in a half-court game, it's Madrid being totally dominant, Ron.
So we've got a whistle on away from the basketball once again. Costas Lucas cutting a frustrated figure. Myros Grigonis called for the offensive foul for that pick in the paint to level Fabian Kozur.
Not the way you want to get back in the ball game, Ron, if you're Panathinaikos.
So there's the 5 on the floor for Real Madrid. Handling is El Chacho. Poirier sets the pick. Rudy Fernandez down to the free throw line and back out again. Vincent, oh, what a spin from Vincent Poirier, hanging in the air, wonderful dexterity. Tough rebound on the defensive glass by Juancho Hernangomez.
Now you have to run a little bit. You gotta let Madrid set up on their defense now.
So looking to get to the goal once again is Costas Lucas, pulls it out from beneath the basket, shadowed every step of the way by Fabian Kozur. Setting the pick is Antetokounmpo into the passing lane. What a steal, what a hustle play, what a save by Rudy Fernandez. Outstanding anticipation and guiding the ball to a teammate to regain possession for his team. What a play.
One of the most fundamental mistakes in the basketball, Ryan, is floating that ball up in the air. And that gave Rudy Fernandez time to get to it and save it. Now look at that backdoor cut. You can't stop this. You can't. It's a machine. It's a machine.
Running like clockwork, opening up their lead to a 14-point advantage. 41 points with just 2 minutes gone in the second quarter. And Panathinaikos have got to be careful that this one doesn't disappear into the distance. Juancho Hernangomez taking it to the rack for the one-handed flush on the inside, cutting in from the weak side and finishing with authority.
You saw Yabusele put his hand up. He got caught sleeping on that play. Nice, quick offensive play by Panathinaikos. That's what they need.
So Kozur rotated to Yabusele, fakes the 3, into the lane, Euro step, looking for Vincent Poirier. Juancho Hernangomez proving to be a bit of a catalyst for all things good for Panathinaikos. Dunk at the offensive end, bagging the steal at the defensive end. Behind the back feed, Juancho Hernangomez fakes the 3. Spinning his way into the lane, stripped by the strong hands of Gershon Yabusele, and then there's a forceful collision at half court. And it's Myris Grigonis again laying the wood on Fabian Cozer, and Fabian Cozer shaken up a little bit.
Yeah, nice. I mean, Grigonis just kind of gets in the way right there, but the defensive play comes on the other side from Yabusel. Hernan Gomez tries to put him in a spin cycle, and Yabusel keeps him in front of him, reaches down. Look at Cozer looking for some help from his boys right there to get up. He's going to be fine. Look at his collision, though, as they go shoulder to shoulder. Grigonis knows it's going to be a foul. He's out of position.
So we're going to have a review of the foul. Remember, it must be deemed to be a legitimate play on the basketball. Is that a play on the basketball, or is it going to be called as a physical altercation and an unsportsmanlike, which would result in 2 free throws and possession? Now, let's listen into the conversation.
Just stay, stand still. So show me the clock when we have the contact, just to check the clock. Go back, allow yourself to stop. Stop. 7:14, good, thank you. Okay, thank you.
So a regular foul after that conference over at the video operators table and the scrutiny of the available angles. Myris Grigonis called for 2 quick second quarter fouls. Remember, Eddie Tavares picked up 2 fouls in a flash in the first quarter. Started, did Eddie Tavares, but in just 3 minutes he accrued 2 fouls, 3 first quarter fouls against Kendrick Nunn. So 2 pivotal players for the respective teams as they hang it up for Vincent Poirier. His backdoor cut couldn't be completed as Kostas Lukas at full speed down the lane, gets to the goal, fouled in the act of shooting. He'll go to the free throw line for 2.
They got pretty lucky right there around the pass from Chacho, a little bit over the top of the rim where Poirier couldn't get his hands on it to get it down. And then on the run, it'll be Kostas Lukas breaking down the defense and getting the basket. Foul shots are a way to get back into this game. Make a Madrid foul, you get to the line. Lucas would have loved to make that one and have an and one right here, but little by little, Panathinaikos, they're just holding on, but you feel as though they're being dominated. They need this break. They need a 2-minute run where they get 2 or 3 stops and scores to get some confidence going into halftime.
Kostas Lukas, 7 points in the game on perfect shooting from all areas of the floor, including 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Kostas Lukas, one of the most accurate free throw shooters of all time, hitting at an 89% clip during his career.
Lucas did not have his best game in the semifinal at all, and now Nunn with 3 fouls. They're going to have to call upon him even more because they're going to need his offense here tonight more than just his leadership. They're going to need some scoring.
In the semifinals, it was just 4 points on 0 of 3 shooting from downtown, and a performance index rating of just 4 in 18 minutes for Kostas Lukas, but he remains perfect from 15 feet away. We mentioned the foul trouble that has befallen Eddie Tavares. Still a double-digit lead for Real Madrid after that perfect trip to the stripe for Kostas Lukas. So it's Yui, pursued around the perimeter by Matthias Lesor. Yui once again, Lukas fighting to get over the screens. Ball remaining in the hands of Yui, created space, front line on the 3-pointer. Vincent Poirier with a sensational offensive rebound. It's a recycled 14 for the reigning champions. So El Chacho pulling up on 3. No whistle on the play. Jaren Grant retrieves the errant shot. While the percussive rhythm continues to be pounded out by the Panathinaikos fans just behind the commentary position of Joao Lucas tonight. It's an incredible atmosphere, but truth be told, down on the floor, there hasn't been that much for Panathinaikos fans to cheer about. They've yet to lead in this game. Matthias Lesor getting the ball in the low post to draw that foul on his French national team teammate Vincent Poirier, checking into the game for the first time in the Final Four is Luka Vildosa.
You know, Vildosa, Ron, has been kind of in the, I don't want to say in the doghouse, but he's been kind of taken out of the lineup recently. Didn't get any time in the semifinal game, but right now he's forced to go to him. Oh, look at the
there's a follow from Matthias Lesor, rising high from the defensive semicircle to catch the basketball above the can and cram it home. And that causes the fans to dial up the decibel level here at the Uber Arena. It's a single-digit deficit faced by the Greens, as El Chacho has used his dribble, disrupted by Jaren Grant. El Chacho recovers the basketball. Shot clock in the red, a Real Madrid aware.
No.
Sergio Yui gets it away, back iron on the shot. Juancho Hernangomez completes the defensive possession by securing the rebound. Bullet feed finds Matthias Lesor. He resumes his duel with Vincent Poirier, up and under. And we said that Matthias Lesor had a quiet first quarter. He's coming up big here in this portion of the second. Back-to-back buckets, going to work on his French national team teammate Vincent Poirier in the low post. And the Panathinaikos fans positively bouncing here at the Uber Arena. Game on, the deficit has been reduced to just 6, 41-35 the score. Well, the Turkish Airlines flight time play of the first quarter comes from Vincent Poirier, who set the screen, rolled down the lane, caught on the cut, and planted both feet before powering up to punch it home on top of Dinos Matoglou and Matthias Lesor. A power jam from the French power forward for the Turkish Airlines flight time play of the first quarter. So, Giannis Antetokounmpo in the house, cheering on his brother, Kostas Antetokounmpo. Played post-game reporter after the semi-final. Scottie Pippen, two-time Olympic champion, 6-time NBA champion, first ballot Hall of Famer, enjoying the vibes here in the German capital.
I'm sure Coach Adam, remember when I called over to Giannis real quick and tell him to put a Panathinaikos uniform, see if he can pass for his brother for at least a couple possessions. But right now they look good, Ron. They're picking it up defensively. They're doing things. Since Vildosa got in the game, it's kind of changed a little bit, and they look better. And they're not letting Madrid set up on the half-court defense. That's what I like about what Panathinaikos is doing right now.
So Real Madrid looking to end a run of 8 straight points posted by Panathinaikos. Their lead was as large as 14. It's been pegged back to 6 as Yabusele, double team down low, finds the open man on the perimeter. The drive, the push-off from Campasso, no whistle. And how about that for a follow? Returning the favor is Vincent Poirier. Matthias Lesor making the mistake of going after the ball, and not the man, didn't box him out. And punching it home on the offensive putback was Vincent Poirier to take him to 6 points in the game.
And that was beast mode right there. You're going to see it coming in from the back, the right side, over the top of the sword, pulls it out of his hand and goes up over the rim and throws it down. And this is the reason why it's okay for Tavares to have 2 fouls, because you have Poirier coming in. He's that Robin to Superman, and I don't know which one this season is Batman and which one is Robin. I have no idea, but the two of them play so well together and complement each other.
So we've got an official review.
Can you put again, please?
To see who will have possession after a coach's challenge. Jaren Grant, you get the sense, feels it was Sergio Yui who touched it last.
Angle.
Let's listen into the officials' conversation at courtside.
No, I don't think so. From the other side. Okay, so this one. So, in touch, it looks like. So, go back. Go back. 1 frame more. 1 frame more. Now stop. Change the camera. Now. 1 frame back. 1 frame back. Go. The other camera. From the baseline. Yes. Go. Can you zoom it? You zoom it. Back. Go now. see if he touch or not. Continue. He didn't touch. He touch here. Go. He touch here, and then the ball slides. So we are not clear, and all the evidence will stay in the
So a successful coach's challenge is Panathinaikos possession. As we take another look at the monstrous putback from Vincent Poirier. So Jaren Grant working the dribble, finds Matthias Lesor on the inside. Goaltend from Vincent Poirier. My goodness, what a battle the two compatriots are having beneath the basket. Vincent Poirier and Matthias Lesor going head-to-head through this passage of the second quarter.
Yeah, that's another help by Poirier coming out on the pick. And Jaren Grant gets the pass. Yabusele rotates perfectly, but he's a little bit too low underneath the basket, giving Matthias Lesor way too much room.
And even though it was an obvious goaltend, Matthias Lesor just letting the Panathinaikos players know that if you don't put it up high with soft touch, it's likely to be sent back express delivery.
What's amazing to me is the reaction time of Poirier getting from that pick back to block it.
Yabusele off left and long with the three-pointer. The rebound, Jaren Grant, the Panathinaikos fans up on their feet.
There he is again inside. You didn't get it. There you go. Give it to him. Let him go one-on-one.
One-on-one once again with Vincent Poirier. Initiates the contact, taking it to the chest of Poirier. Poirier up in arms at having been called for a foul. He doesn't agree with the call. It's going to be the second foul against him. And remember, Eddie Tavares was hit with 2 first-quarter fouls. That's why we haven't seen him since.
Ryan, this is my kind of basketball, man. I love it. You see the guy doing work inside. He's doing it on the offensive side. He's doing it on the defensive side. He comes down, he runs the floor, post up. Give him the rock, man. Let him do his thing. Drawing another foul on Poirier. Now he's got to convert from the line. That's going to be real important.
Matthias Lesor just 60% from the free throw line this season, and that plummeted to 5 of 10 in the semi-final, where he had 17 points against Fenerbahce in 32 minutes, but gets the second. Matthias Lesor, 9 points in the game on perfect shooting from the field. So for the first time since the 3-minute mark of the first quarter, Eddie Tavares checking back into the game.
What a luxury it is to split 10 fouls between those two big men, isn't it?
So Campasso being pursued by Luca Vildosa, the two Argentinian compatriots going head-to-head on the perimeter. There's Canan Musa behind the back, staying down low with Jaren Grant. What a steal! And then we've got an unsportsmanlike. That is an outstanding individual defensive play from Jaren Grant, dancing in front of his defender to take that steal away, dispossessing Canan Musa. His first steal of the game for the man who is number 3 in the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague. In that regard, pocketing 1.5 steals per night. But watch his anticipation here. There's the reach. There he's off to the races. Canan Musa impinging him unfairly, and that is why an unsportsmanlike foul is being called.
And I'll tell you what, Ryan, it's about making Real Madrid uncomfortable. For the last game and this beginning of this game, another missed free throw, though, by Jaren Grant hurts. But if you make them uncomfortable on the offensive side, you get breaks, you get to get out and run a little bit. As the man is in the house.
Two-time EuroLeague champion Vasilije Micic. Remember, he broke Olympiacos' heart in his home city of Belgrade at the Stark Arena to take them out of the semi-final with that miraculous three-pointer at the final buzzer.
Got to hand it over to Panathinaikos here. They've settled down in the second quarter, only giving up 7 points to Real Madrid. So they picked it up defensively. Like we said, they're making them a little bit more uncomfortable on the offensive side.
So Jaren Grant went 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Here's the ensuing possession. Still a potential 4-point trip down the floor, where the deficit faced by Panathinaikos is 4. They've yet to lead in this game. They tied things up at 3 points apiece, but otherwise they've been behind after Real Madrid opened the scoring with a 3-pointer from Elian Dye. Going glass on a rather rush shot to beat the shot clock is
Matoglu is a little bit quick on that. Going to the hoop against against Tavares, who wanted to try to get the foul on him, but you got to go at him a little bit harder.
So Mario Hezonja fouled on his drive to the basket.
I like the idea of Metoglou trying to step out, shoot the three, fakes him, takes Tavares to the hoop, but you got to come off at 2 feet. If you're going to go up 1 foot with Tavares, it's going to be more difficult. He's got those long, quick, lanky arms. He's going to get in your path, but get that third foul on him if you can. As a Panathinaikos player, like, man, what's the difference if I get a third foul on him? I might want him in the game because they played so well with him not in the game for the last 10 minutes.
So 3.5 minutes remaining in the first half. It's Campasso who receives the inbound pass, turns the corner, gets into the lane, kicks it to the corner to Canan Musa. Extra pass finds Mario Hezonja, who sinks it confidently from long range. Mario Hezonja with his first 3-point field goal of the night. 5 points total for Mario Hezonja. As the pull-up three-pointer from Jaren Grant is an instant answer once again. Jaren Grant, 2 of 2 from downtown in his 7-point total. The deficit reduced back to 4. It's been an outstanding quarter for Panathinaikos, scoring 17 while holding Los Blancos to just 10. And remember, Real Madrid put 36 first-quarter points on the board. Sidestep dribble, pull-up three, short by some distance, and a tough rebound by Panayotis Kalaitzakis. 2.5 minutes remaining in the first half.
Credit Lesor for that rebound, and Campasso goes down, and Vildosa takes advantage of the big pick up top by Lesor.
So Lesor setting the screen that leveled Facundo Campasso, and it resulted in a wide-open pull-up three-pointer for Luca Vildosa. Luca Vildosa outstanding in the postseason from three-point territory. He played just 2 games in playoff game 3 and playoff game 1, but on each occasion he went 3 of 4 from downtown. Outstanding performance in the postseason, and he's continuing it here. Is Luca Vildosa hitting his first field goal attempt of the night.
Yeah, it was a huge pick up top, freeing Vildosa. Man, you feel it. I love the switch. He didn't play in the semifinal game. You really didn't count on him tonight, but they know each other. He knows, nobody knows Campasso better than Vildosa does. So he comes in, puts a little bit of pressure on him, getting him a little bit out of his game, a little bit nervous. Campasso got to the basket, this time got the foul. It was a tough foul for Panathinaikos to give. They still had one more to give that they could have given on the floor, but they're going to get free throws for that one.
So Campasso with his first free throw of the championship game makes the first to move to 6 points in the game. Because prior to that made free throw, Real Madrid were being doubled up. 10 points for them in the second quarter, 20 posted by Panathinaikos. But that perfect trip to the free throw line sees them extend their lead to 3. It remains a 1-possession affair. We've got a whistle on the play that will put Real Madrid in the penalty. Free throws forthcoming for Panathinaikos. Well, I thought it put them in the penalty. Football is the call. So no recycled 14 because it was still above 14 seconds. Football once again, as it remains above 14 seconds, 15 seconds for Panathinaikos to work with.
For the young guys out there, if you're watching, that's the reason why you throw bounce passes, because if it gets in the way or any defender gets in the way, they have to use their feet, Ron, and you get a new shot clock.
So Vildosa using the, Slukas using the screen, threads the needle to the corner. Jaren Grant with the drive, offload to Lesor, pump fake, and then contact in the air, no foul call forthcoming. It resulted in a jump hook from Matthias Lesor being well short. Real Madrid on the secondary break. Canan Musa does not hesitate to pull the trigger from downtown, but he's short on his pull-up three-pointer.
Give it back to him. Too far up.
So Lesor facing up, going to work on Vincent Poirier, gets his spot in the lane, pivoting, spinning, pirouetting, upstrung in the paint, and gets it to go off the glass. An outstanding individual move. How did he not dizzy himself during that dance with the basketball down low? Pivoting magnificently beneath the basket and kissing it off the glass from a seemingly impossible angle.
And Musa answering back from the corner. Again, that came from the cut by Poirier down the middle. Great recognition by Capasso getting out for another assist for the point guard.
So ball off the iron, Vincent Poirier with the rebound. So under a minute remaining, Facundo Campasso rotates it to Poirier. It's beyond his shooting range. Campasso squaring up at the top of the key. Jab step, drive left, gets to the edge of the lane. Vincent Poirier managed to fashion an underhanded shot.
Oh.
The rebound has fallen fortuitously into the hands of Facundo Campasso. It's a recycled 14 for Real Madrid. Campasso got his feet set. Three-pointer is nothing but net. And that is a tough bucket. Facundo Campasso showing his competitive spirit, answering with the deep three-pointer, perfect positioning with his feet, solid elevation, and his follow-through was true. We've got a timeout on the floor with just under 20 seconds remaining, and Real Madrid holding off Panathinaikos' furious fight back to keep their noses in front. Their lead is 7.
Mario!
Take those photos of yourself here in the arena final. You, and of course, we'll now see against a mixture
Well, this was the opening play of the game. The opening touch and tip had only just been received. And Kendrick Nunn forced another jump ball by trying to rip it away from Canan Musa. But this is the type of physicality that's been unfolding during the course of the first half of this championship final.
Ron, this is what you expect in finals and championships. What you don't expect is to have 111 points on the board right now, 101 points on the board right now as we speak, with still halftime to go. It's an unbelievable offensive display by both teams, but they are using their physicality. And look at this play by Lesort. I mean, Poirier says, what else do I can't do anything else, right? Musa kind of gives that look like I probably should have came and helped, but he spun himself out so many times I thought he was dizzy.
Well, we mentioned the fact that it was a 20-10 quarter for Panathinaikos as we take a look at the impact of the most significant variety by Matthias Lesort after a relatively quiet first quarter. But when it was 20-10 in favor of Panathinaikos, since that time, Real Madrid have responded to close the second quarter, scoring to just a 4-point advantage for Panathinaikos, 18-22.
Excuse me, Ryan, huge possession right here with 10 seconds to go. You want to get just one good shot and score if you can.
So it's Costas Loukas one-on-one with Mario Hezonja. Setting him up with the dribble, pulls up from the top of the key and drills it.
You can't do it any better, man.
Execution from Costas Loukas, the man playing in his 8th championship game, the only championship winner on the Panathinaikos roster, showing his teammates how to execute in this cauldron of an atmosphere. Wonderful clock management and drilling the mid-range J as the halftime buzzer was about to sound.
You cannot execute that any better. He called for the pick and roll. He shook off the pick and roll. He looked his man up one-on-one and he went at him and scored the 3.
So after 2 quarters here in this championship game between Real Madrid and Panathinaikos Actor Athens, it's a 2-possession affair. Real Madrid 54, Panathinaikos Actor Athens 49.
Matthias, huge momentum swing at the end of that second quarter. You feel set for the second half?
I said yesterday, the key of this game is defense. We didn't execute well in defense. Let's score 34 points in the first quarter. This is not our identity. If we play like that, we got no chance to win. So we got to tighten up on defense.
Thanks very much, Matthias.
Matthias Lesort with an outstanding second quarter. Just 2 points in the first quarter, ending the first half. Matthias Lesort with 11 points, as we hear from Canan Musa.
Canan, if you want to defend your crown, you're going to have to come with something serious basketball in the second half.
Yeah, we know that Panathinaikos is a great team. They have a great fan, so we will try to, come with energy and try to win the game.
Thanks very much, Canan. Good luck.
Well, Canan Musa was a really effective energizer in the first quarter for Real Madrid. Was hit with an unsportsmanlike foul in the second quarter during a run of 2-12 dominance for Panathinaikos. but two men doing outstanding things for their ball clubs from different positions on the floor.
Yeah, we talked about Lasort doing it on the inside as Musa came out being aggressive. And he was well defended too, right? None of his baskets were really easy. He had one on the fast break. That might have been an easy basket, but none defended him well and a lot of help.
Turkish Airlines, BKT, Adidas, Squeak.com, and Motorola. Official global sponsors in association with the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague.
Well, some of the highlights from the first half. In the opening quarter, Real Madrid were rolling. They opened their account with a three-pointer from the team sensation, Eliundai. He then followed up with a three-pointer from the wing and then scored on the inside to make it 8 straight points for Eliundai, approaching his career high of 10. Vincent Poirier setting a beautiful pick, rolling down the lane and finishing with authority. Costas Lucas in his 8th championship game, steadying the Panathinaikos ship, but Rudy Fernandez epitomizing the hustle that Real Madrid showed in the first quarter.
Yeah, and Fernandez did it the other day too. Remember, he dove for that ball at half court, kind of still half court though. He's the guy who sets the tone for Real Madrid. Those 50-50 balls are what win championships.
But Panathinaikos rallied after finding themselves down by 14 at 41-27. They rattled off a run of 8 points without reply to get back within 6. And since that time, it has remained a 2-possession affair. Vincent Poirier and Matthias Lasort having a wonderful duel down low.
That looked like a dance more than a duel to me. There's Lasort putting the nice moves on and finishing with the left. It's Lucas doing this. That was perfect. And that gives you momentum coming out in the second half, Ron.
So the championship game very much in the balance as we go inside the numbers. Both teams shooting terrifically from downtown in particular. Real Madrid missing just once in their 11 free throw attempts. Dead even in the battle of the boards. Neither side swatting any shots. Panathinaikos conceding 6 turnovers. Real Madrid into the passing lane for 4 steals. The numbers reflecting how tight a championship game this is. The second half just moments away from a capacity-filled Uber Arena that's positively rocking.
The eyes of the world are on the ANGT Championship game. It's Demin all the way through, forcefully finishes as he rocks the rack in a big way. Nolan Traore finding a free path through the paint and a free route to the rim. Bosniakovic is trying to inject energy to the offense for Real Madrid. 3-point shot. Asia Miguel. Traore. Got it. Lost their handle, recovered, footwork, crossover, trigger pulled, missed, offensive rebound, Yimka McCory! 3-point shot for the tie, it's good on the roll around from Gonzalez. Traore gets towards the lane, tough shot, can't put it in, and we are indeed heading to overtime. Demin towards Diane, he was the decoy, outside shot short, follow from Mr. Hustle, Declan Duru. Nerves, fatigue, heave for the win, off the mark, and the kings of the continent will not be dethroned. Vasilije Micic, former EuroLeague MVP, Final Four MVP with Anadolu Efes, will present the MVP awards. The champions of the Adidas Next Generation Tournament for a second straight year. Real Madrid, once again, synonymous with greatness.
It'll be Fenerbahce in the white uniforms and Olympiacos in the red. And the ball is in the air for the third place game. Yeah, Olympiacos known for how they share the basketball. Baseline jump shot from Papanikolaou and the perfect start for the Reds. Great ball movement to McKissick. Pretty basketball by Olympiacos. Topped off by the three from Shaquille McKissick. Good inside-out play from Olympiacos. Baseline jump shot, up and good. And Olympiacos open up their first 10-point lead of the night. Pass over the top, perfectly executed alley-oop to Papagiannis. Sandler knocks down a three, and all of a sudden it's a 4-point lead for Olympiacos. Williams-Goss, extra pass to the corner. Got it! And a perfect finish to the third quarter for the Reds of Olympiacos. Wilbekin. Well, Wilbekin wants to go down shooting. Sandler, does he get it off in time? Oh! Mukemel! What a dramatic ending to this third-place game. Olympiacos 87, Fenerbahce 84.
A year where records got broken and legends were made. As the 2023-24 season comes to a head in Berlin, let's take a look at the players who stood out from the rest. Now in his second year in the EuroLeague, Alba Berlin's Gabriel Leprocida created magic on the court to take home the Rising Star Award. Thomas Walkup's defensive prowess at Olympiacos Piraeus didn't go unnoticed. It's the Texan guard's first award in 6 seasons.
This one was special, you know, it's something that I had as one of my goals. It is, as a basketball player, when you're in the midst of a team sport and a career, to be able to check off a goal is something that's special.
The sharpest shooter in the league, Marcus Howard, was dominant from the floor, averaging 19.5 points per game. His numbers helped Baskonia Vitoria-Gasteiz to their first playoff appearance in 5 years. This season's Coach of the Year is Jus Mateo. The Real Madrid boss has made Los Blancos a formidable force, dominating the league from start to finish. In only his second season as head coach, he's hoping for back-to-back titles. Now in his 10th year, Mike James has been having the best season of his career. It's topped off with him finally getting his hands on the MVP trophy. In a year when he broke the all-EuroLeague scoring record, the point guard has written his name in history again and taken his first trophy. Alongside Mike James in the all-EuroLeague first team is the green duo of Matthias Lesor and Kendrick Nunn, both instrumental in ending Panathinaikos' 12-year absence from the Final Four. Facundo Campazzo also finds himself on the first team. His return to Madrid could have a fairy tale ending. And the final spot is taken by another record breaker, Nigel Hayes-Davis. And finally, the all-EuroLeague second team consists of Kostas Sloukas of Panathinaikos Aktor Athens, Maccabi Playtika Tel Aviv's Wade Baldwin and Lorenzo Brown, and the defending champion duo of Mario Hezonja and Walter Tavares.
Turkish Airlines, BKT, Adidas, Squeak.com, and Motorola. Official global sponsors in association with the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague.
So that is the scene during the halftime pause here at the Uber Arena. Don't get it twisted from looking at that beauty shot, because there is not a spare seat in the house. The fans have been in full attendance and in full voice from well before the opening tip. It's made for the most marvelous atmosphere. That man's men, Ardgin Ataman, well, they found themselves down by 14, but they rallied to take the second quarter 24-18, and in large part it was down to the play of Matthias Lesor. He ended the first quarter, Matthias Lesor, with just 2 points, ended the first half with 11 points on really efficient shooting from the field.
Yeah, Lesor is just strong down low, Ron. The way he goes to the basket, whenever he sees the advantage, he gets the easy buckets.
So Matthias Lasor filled with emotion as we take a look at his first half numbers. Again, it was a quiet first quarter, but they began to get him the ball and he got himself rolling, got the entire team going. And again, the emotion and passion with which he plays, augmenting his IQ down in the block. Crucial qualities for his team. Here's his head coach.
Coach, you've got to be very happy with your team's improvement defensively in the second quarter. Are they going to sustain that for the second half?
Yes, first quarter we made a soft defense. Again, soft defense, they have a lot of power, they have a lot of capacity in offense, and they start the game with 8 points to NDI. That is unacceptable for us. Then second quarter we improved our defense, we start to steal the ball, we take the rebound, we start to make a fast break points. This is the key to play against Real Madrid. Now we need to start well on the beginning of the third quarter with aggressive defense.
Great, thank you very much, Coach. Good luck.
Now, he summed it up right there. Great question by Martin on the sideline. And you love having an interview with a coach that gives you all the information. He summed it up. He's going to be more physical from the beginning. Look at the fact that this team has done it from the second quarter on. He can't have another side. He specifically mentioned in Dyer scoring 8 points. It's unacceptable for his team.
Solid shooting from both 2 and 3 point territory, but very few points off turnovers because both teams doing an outstanding job taking care of the basketball. Real Madrid with just 3 turnovers in the first half, Panathinaikos committing 6. But again, that is testament to the quality of their ball handlers and playmakers.
And there's also, I always talk about around the quality of turnovers, so to speak. The fact we talked to Juice Mateo.
Coach, Panathinaikos got very physical in that second period. Are you going to look to match that in the second half?
Now we need to move a little bit more the ball, to share the ball a little bit more, not to attack so static. Sometimes we are trying the one-on-one too soon in the play, too early. We need to move from one side to the other and make them move.
That's great. Thank you very much, Coach. Good luck.
That's exactly what they did in that first quarter. They moved the ball back and forth, had the defense running all over the place and getting wide open shots. Just Mateo, knowing what he's talking about, talking to his team, going too much one-on-one after that in the second quarter.
Both teams shooting an identical 59% from 2-point territory. And again, offensive rebounds very difficult to come by in this incredibly keenly fought affair. Well, Canan Musa is the game's leading scorer with 13 points in the game, including 4 of 5 from downtown. But in addition to putting the ball in the basket, it's these types of hustle plays, these types of energy plays, getting points on the board in a hurry, fighting for offensive rebounds, and coming down with it in a crowd when he's got no right to. And an absolutely outstanding effort from Canan Musa all over the floor.
Yeah, he's been so effective offensively and defensively, and he creates shots for himself. He creates it off the half-court offense, and he creates it off his steals also. He got that ball at half-court, took it to the hoop. Musa converting, leading his team.
Was hit with an unsportsmanlike foul when he was dispossessed by Jaren Grant. But again, as well as leading in points, joint high scorer for assist, along with Facundo Campasso, contributing in so many areas for his team's cause. Well, emotion has been evident all Final Four weekend long, not just here in the Uber Arena, but in the surrounding plaza. It's been a magnificent festival atmosphere. Every ticket in the house sold. They have witnessed basketball of the highest quality and the most intense variety. After the 5-game series drama of the playoffs, it comes down to the do-or-die drama of the Final Four weekend. The fans and the players living every moment.
Ron, I think every ticket has been sold twice. I mean, the amount of fans that are in this city enjoying this festivity is just unbelievable. It's such a great atmosphere all around the Uber Eats Arena. It's great. I love it. I love the Final Four. There's nothing better than it.
One of the hottest tickets in all of world sport. Fans supported in such fervent fashion by passionate fan bases with rich histories and associations with the club. And Real Madrid in the championship game here in the Final Four. Their next generation prevailed in the ANGT. That at an arena just a stone's throw away from here. And they're enjoying this moment. And let me tell you, these under-18s, incredibly gifted, incredibly coachable, incredibly mature. Not just the champions, Los Blancos, this is their moment, of course, but across the entire set of teams who turned up to contest the ANGT, the level was incredibly high, and the intangible of being coachable was wonderful to behold.
Yeah, I think it was the most competitive ANGT that I've seen over the years. A 1-point victory in overtime for Real Madrid. The Paris team deserved it just as much as they did, but man, what a tournament. And I'm telling you what, I don't know, Ron, is it me getting older or these younger guys are just getting way better, man?
Bigger, better, so much building on the foundation of what legends like you laid down, Joe. Let's not get it twisted. They can only see, they can only become what they've seen previously. But again, just like in football and other sports, the manner in which they're building on it, their creativity, their skill set, it's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, maybe one of their moms or dads knows me, but that's about it. I don't think any of these other kids know me.
I saw that highlight reel when you and Pablo Lasso was hooking you up for just about every assist that he dished in the ACB. Now, if I saw that on YouTube and various other outlets, I'm sure that these kids are watching it as well. And again, they build on what's gone previously.
And I just want you to know it was a color. It was in color, too.
Wasn't high def, though, Joe. Half the time I had to struggle to see whether it was you.
That hurt.
It was a big guy wearing number 8.
That hurt. That hurt.
So Matías Lesor, the outstanding player of the second quarter. A wonderful bounce back after a comparatively quiet opening quarter where he scored just 2 points. As we take a look at that list of all-time points leaders and how many of those players are in action today. That's a measure of the experience, testament to the experience that is available out on the floor. But as we've pointed out, that balance tilted in favor of Los Blancos. 21 EuroLeague titles on their roster. Only Kostas Lukas who rounded out that list with championship winning experience for Panathinaikos with his 3 titles.
And these are the moments when experience is most valuable, Ron.
So the second half is underway. The opening possession belongs to Panathinaikos. The man who closed the first half with a perfectly executed mid-range jump shot to beat the halftime buzzer opens the second half with a pull-up trifecta to make it a single possession affair. Panathinaikos trailing by just 2.
6 points in a row for the point guard. You gotta love the way he's coming out leading his team.
Campasso takes him baseline,
wow,
goes high off the glass and gets the shooter's roll.
Wow.
That's a terrific finish with the left hand by Facundo Campasso. High over the outstretched arm of the helping Matías Lesor.
And a soft touch off the glass, and that's one of the best shots of the night so far.
So Lesor beyond his shooting range, hands it off to Kostas Lukas. Facundo Campasso too physical with his defensive attention. So Campasso called for the foul. That's his second.
Watch this floater. Watch him come back, spin off it, and look how high he gets that off the glass. And the higher you get off the glass, the softer it has to touch. What a move. I'll tell you, one of the best shots of the night.
So Slukas pull it past to the corner. Juancho Hernan Gomez fading to his right, hit the side of the backboard, off by some distance. Mario Hezonja off to the races. Now, Jaren Grant called for the foul, and that will be his second. Remember, Kendrick Nunn picked up 3 first quarter fouls. Eddie Tavares back on the floor. Coach Dimitris Atoudis on the sidelines. He, of course, knows what it takes to lift the EuroLeague trophy. Two-time championship winning head coach with CSKA Moscow is Mario Hezonja. 3-pointers off the iron. Rebound, Juancho Hernan Gomez.
We got Coach Atoudis in the EuroLeague pregame show, now Final Four pregame show, trying to take our job someday, Ron. We need to get him back on the bench somewhere.
At Lesor. Has his pocket picked by Facundo Campasso for his first steal of the game. Leading Real Madrid break. Janan Musa for 3, short on the shot. Offensive rebound is loose. Canan Musa comes up with it. It's a recycled 14 for Real Madrid.
Most dangerous shooter, most dangerous rebounder on the court is the shooter. Musa knew that was off.
Campasso for three, off left. We've got bodies hitting the deck beneath the basket, and we've got a whistle on the play. Now, Eddie Tavares outstretched on the hardwood as though he's been struck with a right hand by Deontay Wilder, because I think it's going to be a third foul call against him. Terrific box out by Matthias Lesor, and that shove in the shoulder blades picked up by the officials. Tavares knew the foul call was going against him.
Yeah, he had the foul in the first time, then the shove just made sure that was going to be called. So that's 3 on Tavares, but as we said, it doesn't make a difference. You definitely leave Tavares in the game right now. The way Poirier played before in the first half, you leave him in, keep him in there in the middle of the paint, as you're going to see him now just lingering in there.
Mario Hezonja poking the basketball away from behind, disrupting the attempted low post dribble of Ioannis Papapetru. Now Papapetru with a size advantage over Canan Musa. Settles for a fadeaway J. Air ball, doesn't draw Ryan. Had Real Madrid not picked up the basketball, it would have been their possession on a 24-second shot clock violation.
Yeah, 2 great defensive sets by Real Madrid. Now Hezonja posting up a smaller Grant.
Leaves his feet, moon ball out to the sideline, and it's too much for Facundo Campasso to run down. Mario Hezonja will wish that he could take that one back.
Not pretty basketball here to open things up. You had 2 quick 3-pointers coming in, and now Nunn checking back in the game. This is the moment I think Adaman has been waiting for. He gave up that 3rd foul in the 2nd quarter. Nunn had to go to the bench. Let's see how he comes off here in the 2nd half, but I predicted if he scores 25 or more, they got a good chance of winning this game.
Hezonja pursuing Kendrick Nunn. Kendrick Nunn into a pincer movement, pushes it back out to the perimeter. Slukas, flat pass to the corner. Kendrick Nunn, pump fake, drives, offloads to Matthias Lesor. Fouled on the inside as he tossed it up towards the basket, and it's Eddie Tavares. Well, if it is Eddie Tavares, that's foul number 4. Facundo Campasso raising his hand to take the foul, and it is Campasso who has been hit with foul number 3.
Yeah, but you see what Campasso's done. He's already had a couple steals here to start this 3rd quarter. He's all over the place on those bounce passes. He's so low to the ground. His center of gravity is so low that he gets down almost at knee level and steals a pass. This time he got called for a foul, but you're sending Lesor to the line, which isn't it's not a bad change if you want to make sure that you're sending someone to the line. Look, I love this guy. Here's Alcino.
2-time EuroLeague champion.
Hezonja once again taking the ball off the rim.
Well, you cannot knock the hustle, because going hurtling headlong over the advertising hoardings on the baseline is Canan Musa, epitomizing the energy that he's putting forth individually, and Real Madrid, and indeed players from Panathinaikos, are showing collectively that is how much possession of the basketball means. Beautiful feed from the top of the key to find a cutting Juancho Hernan Gomez on the baseline, who finishes above the rim with a delicate drop into the cylinder. It's a 1-point game.
Easy baskets are huge for Panathinaikos. And look at the defense on the other side. Lesor's going to be called for the foul, but he got his hand in there. I thought he had the pick.
And again, to reiterate, Panathinaikos have yet to lead in this game. Real Madrid opened the scoring with a 3-pointer. Panathinaikos responded, the 3-pointer coming from Elian Dai to open the scoring. But other than that, they have found themselves down. A 6-0 run saw them bring it back to 10-9. But Real Madrid opened up a lead that was as large as 14 at 41-27 as the 3-pointer with a knuckleball around the iron. The rebound secured by Luca Vildosa. Kendrick Nunn working the dribble. Gershon Yabusele sets up a roadblock near the sidelines. Nunn down into the lane, ball deflected. Saving it to the hands of Matthias Lesor. Kendrick Nunn, 3-pointer is nothing but twine. And for the first time in this championship final, Panathinaikos Actor Athens have their noses in front on the scoreboard. And it is that man, the extraordinary shot maker Kendrick Nunn, who checks back into the proceedings and duly drills it from downtown to put Panathinaikos up by 2.
He drew Real Madrid's attention defensively for 22 seconds, Ron. But there's the last 2 seconds where he drilled the 3. Absolutely amazing. Nunn needs to score.
Well, the Turkish Airlines flight time player of the second quarter is Matthias Lasor, riding high to ram home the putback off the interior miss. Flight time approaching 2 seconds. Did he extend it by hanging on the rim? Well, he wanted to avoid twisting his ankle by coming down on top of Gershon Yabusele, but a terrific athletic play by the intense Matthias Lasor, the Turkish Airlines flight time player of the second quarter.
100,000 miles, 100,000 miles. Right now, maybe hang on that rim or not. And this is the moment for Panathinaikos to build on the momentum. The timeout by Real Madrid. Jus Mateo knows right now that his team's struggling a little bit offensively. Capasso's not in his game on the offensive side. They're missing threes here to start out the second half. So now, I would imagine in this possession, going to look maybe to Yabusele or Zondia to post up down low and try to get something in the low post.
It is absolute pandemonium here at the Uber Arena because the capacity crowd that is overwhelmingly partisan in favor of Panathinaikos finally have something to cheer about because their team, their beloved Greens, have taken the lead for the first time. Jaren Grant will be called for the foul. That is foul number 3. So it's Luca Vildosa defending his compatriot Facundo Campasso. Canan Musa with the moon ball out to Campasso. Bullet pass back down the sideline from Yabusele. Finds Campasso. Looking to find a backdoor cutter. Creative layup attempt by Mario Hezonja. Rebound picked up in gang fashion by Panathinaikos. Deflected out of bounds.
I talked about it in the first half. At one point, we asked about how do you stop Real Madrid, extend the defense a little bit. You see Yabusele now, Musa, or Zonja getting the ball outside the three-point line, but they always have someone in their face. They're making them put the ball on the ground and making it more difficult to get open shots.
So Panathinaikos looking to add to what is currently a run of 6 points without reply. Kendrick Nunn working the dribble. He's got a mobility edge over Mario Hezonja. And Mario Hezonja is some athlete, let me tell you, but he gets to the goal. Shot broken up. Ball is loose. Hitting the deck is a scrum of players. It's a pile-up in the fight for possession. And it looks as though it's going to be contested between Eddie Tavares and Matthias Lasor. Mind you, there are so many players in contention, the referee could just pick any of these guys out of the identity lineup and send them to the nearest circle at the foul line. Terrific hustle from all of the players in this championship game.
Little rugby match going on right there, a little scrum. And Tavares, he's obviously going to go straight to the line to try to get the jump ball. Lasor will probably be doing the same thing. Madrid, how many jump balls will this be for us today, Ron? I think 4, and Madrid's won all 3 of them up until this point. So I'm going to tell you what, you add that up at the end of the game, that's 4 more possessions. Yeah, you didn't give up the 50-50 ball, but you have to get the jump ball. Panathinaikos has got to win one of these. You can't be giving up possessions on jump balls.
So the shot clock is being reviewed because in the event that Panathinaikos secure possession, they will have to work with the time that remains on the shot clock, and that being determined by the officials over at the video operators table. Let's listen in. So the time on the shot clock not yet displayed. Paulius Yankunas in attendance. So many EuroLeague legends here as Final Four ambassadors enjoying the festivities. And again, the shot clock time still not displayed.
They're probably calling that, Ron, the fact that Madrid had that possession for a second on the floor. Yabusele had it in his hands before he was tied up, so.
Could be a 14.
Yep.
Yeah. Could well be a 14. Let's take a look. Opening tip.
Depending on who gets it.
Is ran down by Kendrick Nunn, so it is a recycled 14. Kendrick Nunn sees a seam, pulls up for 3 off the front iron. Strong rebound, Eddie Tavares to complete the defensive possession.
That's the best look Nunn has had all night. He would love to have that shot back one more time.
So Canan Musa looks to find the roller, gets the ball back rather fortuitously out to Yabusele. Mario Hezonja does not hesitate off the back iron. That's a magnificent effort by Canan Musa, showing more foot speed, more energy, urgency and desire than Panathinaikos. Another shot attempt, and all of a sudden Panathinaikos appearing just a little bit flat-footed. Cannot question their desire, but do they have the energy to demonstrate their desire? Because how on earth did Canan Musa get there first?
Yeah, there's no time to give up now. 50-50 balls around. Every ball has to be yours. Backdoor cut by Hernan Gomez, almost had an easy layup.
So in addition to a 2-11 run, it's a 6-0 run by Panathinaikos. Oh, that's an easy pick for Musa, but he can't get there. Ball remains in possession of Panathinaikos. Clever pass down low. Turnaround Jays, a fade off the back iron.
Both teams struggling offensively right now in the half-court sets.
So they dump it inside. Terrific catch and offload by Mario Hezonja. He wound up on his rear in the paint. Catches, fakes the three. Working the dribble, gets to his spot at the edge of the lane, goes glass too strong. Rebound, Juancho Hernan Gomez.
Extended defense, making Hezonja put the ball on the floor where your help is, now to the basket. Neither team can get it going here offensively, but Panathinaikos is a still-point lead.
Both teams finding the baskets covered, looking for some sink, looking for some rhythm and flow. Because the offensive showcase, oh, that's a bone-jarring pick set by Eddie Tavares. No foul called. Back iron on the shot. Fighting for the rebound is Matías Lesor. Headbutt for the stanchion. It will remain Real Madrid possession after Lesor pushed it out of bounds.
So difficult for Lesor, though, because you're going to see him, if we see it, he uses his left hand to hold off Tavares going to the basket, and he's got to come down with the ball with one hand, and it goes out of bounds, giving Madrid another possession.
Well, communication for the team with the basketball must be incredibly difficult, and that is why chemistry is so important. Canan Musa works the jab step, goes glass off the iron. Following up forcefully is Eddie Tavares. We've got a whistle on the play, but let me tell you, the whistle is simply not audible. Such is the cacophony in which these players are competing. It's an incredible atmosphere here at the Uber Arena.
Yeah, I believe that's going to be 3 on Lesor also. Yeah, that's Matías getting his 3rd foul on the floor against Musa as he went to the basket. So now Adaman has a decision to make, because how long do you keep him in for? You have 3:42 left to go here in this 3rd quarter. You don't want him to pick up his 4th too quickly, because you need him for the last 6-7 minutes of the game.
So 6 minutes and 18 seconds have elapsed, and Real Madrid, after that missed free throw from Canan Musa, his 2nd miss from the stripe tonight, is now 4 of 6. Real Madrid have scored just 2 second-half points. Panathinaikos have scored 9. Both teams out of sync offensively.
It's inconceivable after seeing 36 dropped in the first 10 minutes of the game that they could only have 3 points here in 6.5 minutes.
Well, that ends the run of 6 straight points posted by Panathinaikos, but still in the ascendancy in this second half of Panathinaikos. Their lead has been pegged back to just 1 as Kendrick Nunn puts a defender on his back. Oh my goodness, no communication in the half-court D by Real Madrid, and that was practically an uncontested layup for Kendrick Nunn, who moves to 13 points in the game to become his team's 3rd double-digit scorer.
Yeah, I think Nunn knew he had Musa on his back. Now you got Hezonja, this time wide open.
Off right with the 3 ball, Mario Hezonja. Now 1 of 6 from downtown. Real Madrid stone cold from the field.
2 for 13 here. 2 for 13 in this 3rd quarter for Real Madrid. They're extending out deep, and this Boyer gets it down the middle.
Well, it's a strange passage of play through this 3rd quarter, because the buckets that have been scored have been comparatively easy and uncontested around the rim. But the jump shots not falling, clanging off the iron, bricks being laid. Real Madrid pegging back Panathinaikos' advantage to just 1. There's a body check in the open court, and it will send Kostas Lukas to the free throw line for 2 shots. El Chacho committing the foul.
Yeah, that's your 4th team foul right there too. You really wanted to get him on the floor if you could, but Lukas, you see him gets his hand on the ball, gets up, and that's where Chacho commits the foul. So he's gonna go to the line, sending your best free throw shooter to the line. But as we said, Real Madrid ended up at halftime 8 for 16 from the 3-point line run. And right now, 8 for 24 for this squad. And They're just not getting the open looks. They're getting Panathinaikos is extending that defense enough to make them put it on the floor or make them doubt taking the three-pointer.
So 0 of 8 from downtown as the Panathinaikos fans pump up the volume once again. It's an atmosphere that is scarcely believable, and it has been incessant from opening tip to deep into this third quarter.
These guys don't stop. You know, we've been in Owaka Arena, and there's Sarb Ataman on the. I mean, this guy's been in more Final Fours than me, Ron. It's crazy.
Posted on his socials, opposing with NBA champion Giannis Antetokounmpo, Vasilije Mitic, Scottie Pippen as well. Missing from the free throw line is Kostas Sloukas.
Poirier had that open look, and I'm gonna tell you what, Rudy Fernandez is gonna be called here for that illegal back screen, I think. And that's the play they set up often for Poirier to go up and get the alley-oop dunk. And I think Rudy Fernandez caught the defender on the move.
So Rudy Fernandez called for his first foul.
As he trips up Lessort trying to get the back pick in, but couldn't get the angle correct.
So just under 2.5 minutes remaining in what has been a low-scoring third quarter. Just 5 points on the board for Real Madrid, 12 for Panathinaikos. As Lessort, oh my goodness, he didn't go to the basketball. It's deflected and poked away by Rudy Fernandez for his second steal of the game. Terrific work on the defensive end, but a careless possession by Panathinaikos in a period where points are proving so difficult to come by. El Chacho drives, kicks to the corner, extra pass, an eternity for Rudy Fernandez to contemplate and fire the three, but he cannot find the range.
Best look they've had so far in this third quarter, and Fernandez couldn't get it. Almost had too much time to look at it that time.
So now 0 of 9 from downtown in the third quarter as the offload sees Panayotis Kalaitzakis fouled in the act of shooting after the drive and dish from Kostas Sloukas. Panayotis Kalaitzakis will go to the free throw line for 2 shots. So Vincent Poirier called for his third as Real Madrid 0 from downtown in the third quarter. They are now 0 of 9 from three-point territory, but they're only trailing by a single possession. And if you're a Los Blancos fan, you're going to tell yourself that this poor shooting cannot last forever. They're going to come out of it, get back towards their percentages, towards their averages, and then it could put a different complexion on the game.
Yeah, and that's something that you always look up at the scoreboard and say, hey man, we're playing our worst game. Technical foul for Poirier, that's going to give him 4 now. And that's going to send Sloukas to the line. Now Kalaitzakis will get another chance for 2 on the foul on the last possession. So now you have Tavares with 3, Poirier with 4 with the double foul right there. I look for Chus Mateo maybe to go with Yabusel and Erzonia on the floor. Maybe we go with a small lineup here as the end of this quarter, the beginning of the fourth quarter comes upon us.
So Panayotis Kalaitzakis remains perfect from the free throw line this season in the presence of his club's owner. He can barely bring himself to look. That is the type of emotion that is evident at the Uber Arena here. Confirmation of 4 fouls on Vincent Poirier. Panayotis Kalaitzakis, 8 out of 8 from the free throw line for the campaign. Big points to give Panathinaikos the largest lead of the night. They are up by 5. So El Chacho being pursued by Luca Vildosa. El Chacho leaves his feet, hangs on in the air at the short corner, and terrific team rebound by Panathinaikos, pushed out of bounds by Real Madrid. Argen Ataman, very much a family affair because his wife is in attendance along with their son as well.
Ron, I told you earlier,
leading by 5.
I told you earlier, the one thing that can kill Madrid is ineffectiveness from outside the arc, and it's happening here in the third quarter. Now, a 5-point lead for Panathinaikos with a little over a minute left. Can they extend this even more to put the pressure on Real Madrid in the fourth?
So Eddie Tavares back on the floor with 3 fouls. Vincent Poirier with 4 fouls, having been hit with that tech, takes a seat on the sidelines. Vildosa has used his dribble. Giannis Papapetrou driving on Hazonia. Oh, terrific offload when in a difficult position. They beat the shot clock buzzer. That basket will not count. Panayotis Kalaitzakis stepping out of bounds when going for his dribble move, trying to rescue this broken play. And look at that, by the narrowest of margins, the ball of his foot bisecting the sideline, turnover is the result. So floater to Sergio Rodriguez, who's got a wide open lane to the bucket. Where was the communication on the weak side D for Panathinaikos?
I mean, giving up 7 points only in the third quarter. You don't want to give up an easy look like that. Now Salukas comes back to the sword. That's not the shot you want if you're Panathinaikos.
So those 3 foul shots in a row for Panathinaikos, answered by that score on the inside to make it a 1-possession affair. Real Madrid with just 7 third-quarter points so far. As Sergio Yui receives it from Rodriguez, pulling up at mid-range. Shot clock violation. Not sure whether the ball drew iron. Sergio Yui adamant that he was fouled in the act of shooting.
Look at the defense by Kalaitzakis again. I mean, he does the intangibles, Ryan. That was incredible defense. It's so hard to defend Sergio Yui at the end of a shot clock because he's got the mandarina, but he'll also penetrate to the basket. Look at the defense. Kalaitzakis bodies him the whole way. Look at the hands. Gets up in his face. Does a great job of avoiding the contact. No foul whatsoever. That's incredible defense.
2 seconds remaining in the period. It's in the hands of Panayotis Kalaitzakis.
Oh!
Draws iron but cannot get it to fall. Real Madrid with just 7 third-quarter points is their lowest points total of the season in their biggest game of the campaign. And at the end of 3 quarters, Panathinaikos Actor Athens are leading by 3. 61-64 the score. Well, some of the highlights from the third quarter. The replay operator is going to have to work pretty hard to find any offensive highlights because both teams found the basket covered. But the intensity and the hustle demonstrated by both teams, testament to how badly they want to prevail in this championship fixture.
22-point score between both teams in that third quarter after Madrid dropped 36 in the first. You have to love the fact that both teams came out in the second half. We talked about in the first half physicality, but the offense beating the defense's physicalness. Right now, it's all about defense. It's all about getting in passing lanes, getting in out of the three-point shooters and making them put the ball on the floor and bring it into the paint. This is going to be an incredible 10 minutes, Ron.
So Real Madrid went 0 of 9 from downtown in that period. Simply couldn't find the basket at all. We take a look inside the numbers. Very tight in the battle on the boards. Real Madrid doing an outstanding job getting into the passing lanes, but in the most important number of all, it is Panathinaikos leading by 3, and a performance index rating of 4 sees Kostas Sloukas take the performer of the third quarter. That's how hard baskets were to come by.
Didn't take much to get that best performance, did it, right now?
22 second quarter points total as we take a look at the flight time play of the game graphic. Scottie Pippen up on his feet. Well, considering what he was rocking at the semi-final night, he's clearly found himself a barber or a hairdresser here in the German capital.
Hey, Ron, I was going to ask you, how does he come to the German capital again? I know you didn't send him anywhere.
I can recommend a few hairdressers, Joe. So the fourth quarter underway.
Do it.
The game very much in the balance as the floater from El Chacho is off the iron. Rebound, Jaren Grant. Kendrick Nunn being defended by Sergio Yui. There's the 5 on the floor for the team with the basketball. Nunn, short corner J, off the back iron. Oh no, is that an interference? No, it isn't. Kendrick Nunn fires immediately, and on the second occasion, gets the shooter's roll, and then we've got a whistle away from the basketball.
Kalaitzakis I think got called for the foul, going for the offensive rebound. Again, Nunn got a break because that was knocked off the basket, I believe, by Hazonia. and gets it back and puts it back up. But right now, it's the Nunn and Grant show right now, if you ask me.
So Panayotis Kalaitzakis called for the offensive foul when fighting for the rebound. There's the 5 on the floor for the reigning champions. They find Eddie Tavares, bulldozes his way down the lane, cannot get the finish, but will go to the foul line for 2.
That's the most, I mean, he hasn't been on the floor, but you saw it. The way he went to the basket when he gets that pass from Chacho, he goes at it as hard as he can, knowing he's got to get to the foul line. He's got to get something out of this possession. Eddie Tavares has been out of this championship game for a long time, and right now they need him in the 4th quarter.
Eddie Tavares scoreless. Matthias Lesor called for foul number 4. Vincent Poirier currently sidelined for Real Madrid with 4 fouls. Kendrick Nunn picked up 3 fouls in the 1st quarter, but has made a real impact to become his team's 2nd leading scorer since then.
And this is the moment I talked about, Ron, right now. It's maybe he's forced to do it because of the 4th foul, but you have Papa Petru in the lineup, you have Mitoglou in the lineup. Who is Tavares going to defend? That's the question, because they're going to step outside the 3-point line and try to pull them away from the basket. That'll give Nunn and Grant a lot of opportunities to get to the hoop.
Eddie Tavares with his 1st points of the game. Just 1 field goal attempted so far. Perfect 2 of 2 from the stripe, from where Real Madrid are an outstanding 13 of 15.
As a quick foul on Sergio Llull also in the inbounds play. So fouls are important here, trying to get into the bonus as quick as possible.
So Kendrick Nunn picked up by El Chacho. Real Madrid settling back into a matchup zone of the 2-1-2 variety. Anchoring it is Eddie Tavares. He scrambles to the corner. Late on the rotation, Papa Petru got the shot away, but was short off the front iron.
And he's got to take that shot to get Tavares out of the middle of the lane.
Terrific D on the basketball by Panayotis Kalaitzakis, not giving El Chacho any room to breathe. That's a lethal pick set by Sergio Llull. No foul, and he's holding his lower back, and that's unsurprising. How on earth was that not a whistle on the play?
That was some serious contact. I mean, Kalaitzakis is going all out defending him, and Llull's just standing there. And, I mean, you can see the fact that Llull goes into him a little bit right there, but you also have to protect yourself as a player. Kalaitzakis is coming at him all out, doing a great job of defending Chacho. Man, what a change of pace we've had since the 1st quarter.
So it's a run of 4 points without reply. Jaren Grant gets into the lane and finishes off the window. Jaren Grant moving to 9 points in the game. It remains a 1-possession affair. Panathinaikos leading by 3. They've led by as many as 5.
The quicker they are offensively getting the basket, the more effective. Great defense by Mitoglou down low. Can they get it?
Ball is loose. Hustling after it is Kendrick Nunn in the headbanded figure, comes up with it. Pushing in the open court. Down to the free throw line, back out to the perimeter. Jaren Grant electing to slow things down. 2 minutes gone in the 4th quarter. It is tied up at 4 points apiece.
Mitoglu's going to pop out here. There it is.
Dinos Mitoglu
there it is,
way behind the 3-point line, and he brings the Panathinaikos players and fans to their feet here at this capacity-filled Uber Arena. Dinos Mitoglu stretching the floor magnificently, and now Real Madrid have an invidious position, out of an invidious choice to make, is pick your poison from the perimeter or protect the paint on the inside. Panathinaikos with their largest lead of the night, they're up by 6.
This was the moment I talked about, Ron, all game long. When was Adaming going to go to it? This time he was forced to do it because Lesor picked up his 4th foul. Now, the timeout. Let's see what Chus Mateo comes up with, because he may have to go to Yabusele playing the 5 spot with Hazonia. Let's listen in.
Entra fuerte. 8 minutos, Vamos, lo tenemos hasta el final. Mario,
So Matthias Lesor, the parents of Matthias Lesor in attendance here. Their team currently up by 6, and Matthias Lesor with an outstanding 2nd quarter was absolutely instrumental in their fight back from in a game where they were down by 14.
Tavares checks back into the lineup. No change made by Juice Mateo right there. They bring Musa in. So you're gonna have Hezonja playing in the 4th spot. They'll probably do a little bit of switching, trying to keep Tavares into the lane. But what you're gonna do there is you have 3 penetrators down the floor. You have Slukas, Jerry and Grant, and you have Kendrick Nunn to get to the basket while they're pulling Tavares away from the hoop.
So Sergio Yui being closely guarded by Kostas Slukas. Slukas moving his feet magnificently. Yui turns the corner, wrap around feed to Hezonja in the corner. 3-pointers off the front time, picking up the pieces, Jaren Grant, and now Panathinaikos elect to slow things down with 2.5 minutes gone.
Uncomfortable shots, that's what they're getting. The passes aren't getting to them, to their players as effectively as they were. Here comes another pick and pop again, and this time, now you got the switch.
So there's a mismatch for Dinos Matoglou down low. Jaren Grant from the top of the key drills the long-range 2-pointer, straddling the 3-point line, and it's a 9-point advantage for Panathinaikos.
This is Coach Adaman at its best, letting his team do what they know how to do, taking advantage of the switches. That's a huge rebound. And I tell you what, Grant gets his hand in here. Ron, this is going to be big because Tavares gets the rebound off the missed 3 by Yui. Grant gets his hand in. I think they're going to challenge this because I'm not sure if this went off of Tavares' leg or not. And you have to coach his challenges right now with a 9-point lead.
Yeah. Another angle you have, better or not? You have the wrong ball. Okay, the other side. All right. Show me the master on the ball. It's not clear and conclusion to see for me. I cannot see. Stay with the same. Just when the ball touches out of bounds to see the clock, please. Just when the ball touches out of bounds to see the clock.
So the coach's challenge for the out-of-bounds verdict. And on the last bucket, I thought Jaren Grant was straddling the 3-point line to make it a long-range 2, but they've called it a 3-pointer. Panathinaikos' score going from 71 to 74, and that is why they are up by 9. Which means that it is back-to-back 3-point buckets from the top of the key for Panathinaikos, if that isn't amended. Now it has been amended, and the official score you can see on the bottom left has been adjusted to an 8-point lead. It is still Panathinaikos' largest lead of the game, but it is now 8 and not 9, as it was after that momentary error which has been amended.
12 on a shot clock here, so they got to get something up quick.
So Mario Hezonja forcing his way into the lane, and the finger rolls, a fantastic finish, completing the score through the foul. Outstanding work to get the scoreboard moving when the perimeter shots are not falling for the reigning champion.
That's exactly what you need to do, and Hezonja's so good at it. We talked about how he loves to hit the deep ball. He's not having the best night tonight at 1 for 6, and he knows that, so he takes it to the hoop, draws the foul, and goes to the line.
That brings a run of 7 straight points posted by Panathinaikos to an end. And Mario Hezonja completing the 3-point play brings his team back to within 5. It's a 2-possession affair. Approaching 3.5 minutes gone here in the 4th quarter.
They're going to zone defense right now. This is what won it for them last year, Ron. They know Tavares has 4 fouls, and they got a smaller lineup in, so he's going to go to zone.
Attacking the zone, into the lane, Jaren Grant to his spot, front line on the shot, and that's the push to send Dinos Matoglou flying over the baseline. Another foul on the Real Madrid total. Facundo Campasso, not a happy man with the call that has gone against his club. But I think that's the foul after Dinos Matoglou's hustle to crash the space of that zone. And there's the shove in the back with the forearm from Campasso. Yeah, outstanding work from the camera operator.
There's no doubt about it. And the official right there. Because Campasso's so small, sometimes you don't see that forearm in the back. But right now, let's see how Panathinaikos could answer with 6.5 minutes left. They have to have something prepared for the zone defense.
So Kostas Lukas looking for a receiver. Dinos Matoglu working to get open. They go to Matthias Lasor. He gives it back to the inbounder. 2-3 zone being set up by Real Madrid. Panathinaikos with plenty of zone busters out on the floor, but the ball has to keep moving. It's a pull-up J from mid-range. It's off the back iron and the zone proving effective. Los Blancos on the break. Campasso selling the contact. Sergio Yui tickled the twine from downtown to make it a single possession affair. Real Madrid trailing by just 2. Sergio Yui with his first trifecta of the night.
And just like that, they're back in and you feel the momentum changing. Panathinaikos is looking around. They're questioning where they're supposed to be against his own defense. Matoglu's in the corner. He should be down in the short corner, but him and Lasor are the same side.
Oh! Big bucket from long range. Brings the Panathinaikos faithful up to their feet here at the Uber Arena. Kostas Lukas remaining perfect from downtown. What a way to bounce back after a quiet semi-final on Friday night. 19 points to lead all scorers.
If you're going to depend on that shot against his own defensive round, you're going to lose the game. They have to find something effectively on the offensive side against it. You see Slukas. Slukas is yelling at Matoglu right now because he was out of position. He had nothing to do but shoot the ball. So now he's trying to be the captain and show his veteranship and move his players around into positions against his own.
Well, what a stat line from Kostas Lukas, and it's perhaps a little bit surprising that his only miss from anywhere has come from the free throw line. But Facundo Campasso with 4 fouls, Kendrick Nunn and Matthias Lasor with 4 fouls, as the rebound secured by Jaren Grant.
Azonia now 1 for 7 from deep. Had a good look this time. Right back in the zone again. You got to bury somebody down low.
Slukas pull up trifecta and he bottoms it. The man competing in his 8th championship game to lead all players all time, coming up big in this championship finale. Panathinaikos' only championship winner on their roster, leading by example. Back-to-back 3-point buckets, 22 points in the game. His team up by 8, but a riposte from the perimeter as Sergio Yui keeps his team in contention by drilling his second 3-ball.
He's not going anywhere. That's why he's in the game. He won it for him last year, and he's back on the floor with 4.5 to go.
So Slukas, ball in his hands after hitting consecutive 3-pointers. Jaren Grant drives, finds a cutting Matthias Lasor, can't get the shooter's roll. Rebound, Mario Hezonja. They dump it down low to Eddie Tavares, who finishes with a rim-rocking jam. Real Madrid on the secondary break, executing efficiently to make it a 1-possession affair. Timeout on the floor. And my goodness, this 4th quarter has come to life. These 2 EuroLeague heavyweights exchanging haymakers deep into the 4th quarter. 76-79 the score, with just over 4 minutes remaining in regulation.
One side, 4K on the left. Yeah. Dino, try to stay here. Matthias, you got to pick to him. Even if they make ice, you try to go from there. Okay, Matthias, you make pitch. If we can't find nothing, if Lucas is done.
Don't be late here. Go back here.
You make good pick. Jay, he's on the corner. Hey, yes. Hey, you come to make good pick. That's short throw to here.
Well, Kostas Lukas was really quiet in the semi-final victory. 4 points, including going 0 of 3 from downtown. So how does he respond in the championship game in his 8th championship appearance? He just goes perfect from the field, that's all. 4 of 4 from downtown, 2 of 2 from 2-point territory. And these aren't points in garbage time. These are on critical possessions that determine whether it's going to be a 1-possession affair or greater than that in favor of Panathinaikos. What a performance.
The guy has memory, man, and he remembers missing that final shot last year when he was with the other team in Athens and trying to beat Real Madrid. This time he wants to try to do it before he has to take the last shot, but Madrid's not going anywhere.
Kendrick Nunn to the elbow and drills the mid-range J with wonderful delicacy. Kendrick Nunn moves to 17 points in the game, and the 5-point lead for Panathinaikos restored. Their largest lead has been 8 at 65-73 and 71-79. They floated up to Eddie Tavares where only he can catch it, but he's dispossessed as he brought the ball back down low, committing a cardinal error for big men beneath the basket. The steal from Panathinaikos, resulting in the 7th turnover of the game for the reigning champions.
It was a soft pass by you that didn't get to its apex, and that's the reason why Tavares had to bring it down.
Nunn to his spot. Floater is good. What a beautiful bucket on the finger roll from the edge of the lane. And the Panathinaikos fans seeing their belief surge deep into this 4th quarter. We are in crunch time, and it's a 7-point lead for Panathinaikos. Campasso goes glass, too strong. Rebound, Matthias Lesor.
Madrid now looks like Panathinaikos in the half-court offense, not moving the ball around. A lot of one-on-one stuff that Adam talked about early on for his team.
So we are in crunch time as Matthias Lesor has been leveled by the smallest man on the floor. Facundo Campasso, all 1.79 meters of him, has just dropped Matthias Lesor to the hardwood, and that is foul number 5. Facundo Campasso having to hit the road and take a seat on the sidelines, and he is absolutely steaming. But this is what got him into trouble, trying to fight his way over that pick that Matthias Lesor set, took his leg away, and that is foul number 5 for the playmaking superstar of Los Blancos.
How crucial is that right there, around both players with 4 fouls in that melee, and Campasso gets called for it.
So Slukas dumps it down low to Kendrick Nunn. He's double teamed in the corner. Spreading the floor, ball fake, 3-pointer, bucket, and that could well be the ball game. Facundo Campasso absolutely livid on the sidelines. But Panathinaikos Actor Athens have opened up their first double-digit lead of the night. They are up by 10, and is Dinos Matoglu serving a zone buster extraordinaire once again, stretching the floor off the ball fake and calmly sinking the 3-pointer from the perimeter. Timeout on the floor called by Chus Mateo. Real Madrid 76, Panathinaikos Actor Athens 86, with just under 2.5 minutes remaining in regulation. Well, those are the scenes here at the Uber Arena, because Panathinaikos, who trailed for the entirety of the first half, now know that they are on the cusp of securing their 7th EuroLeague crown. There's an awful long time left, particularly when you've got veterans on the floor of the order of Sergio Llull, Sergio Rodriguez, Rudy Fernandez, playmakers who are capable of wiping out a deficit of 10 in just a few possessions. But Giannis Antetokounmpo knows a thing or two about winning championships. He feels that Panathinaikos are in the box seat.
Ron, there's a little bit too much celebration going on around here.
That 3-pointer from El Chacho, I'm not sure he even drew iron. He was looking for a foul. Kostas Lukas picking up the pieces. So the clock is now the friend of Panathinaikos and very much the foe of Real Madrid. Sergio Rodriguez committing the foul. Real still with fouls to give.
And they go right back to man. That was the last foul that they could give. They had to give it up as soon as possible, because they're going to have to think about defending hard. If they have to send them a line, they will. But 2 minutes ago, this could be the most important possession of Panathinaikos' season right here. A bucket here just about locks this thing up.
Well, they've got to remain concentrated, because you don't want Matthias Lesor handling the basketball in that type of territory at this juncture of the game. But Vincent Poirier has committed the foul. He joins Facundo Campasso, having fouled out. 5 fouls accrued by Vincent Poirier. 5 fouls accrued by Facundo Campasso. And he can take no further part in the remaining 2 minutes and change that are left in regulation. To the free throw line, Matthias Lesor. Real Madrid in the penalty as they extend their lead. It is a run of 8 points without reply that Panathinaikos have stitched together to put them up by this double-digit margin.
That was the guy you wanted to go to the line, if anybody on the court, but it's the sort that knocks down both. And now you just don't want to foul if you're Panathinaikos. Keep extending. Don't give up any threes.
So Canan Musa fouled on the perimeter. That puts Panathinaikos into the penalty. Kostas Lukas called for the foul. That's his second. But what a performance he has produced from the point guard position. We talked about the disparity in overall experience and to the fact that the 21 EuroLeague titles on Real Madrid's roster were counted by the single championship player on Panathinaikos, and that is Kostas Lukas. But what a performance he has produced, leading from the front, leading by example.
Ryan, how's 2 for your number? 22 points, 2 assists, 2 defensive rebounds, 2 total rebounds, 2 fouls, 2 turnovers. He's perfect. The only thing he's done is he missed 1 foul shot here tonight.
So 1 out of 2 from the free throw line. Then we've got a whistle.
Right, I mean, I know it's early. There's under 2 minutes to go in this game. Panathinaikos up 11. But we have to talk a little bit about Coach Ataman. It's absolutely amazing the way he comes in. This is how good I am, Ron. I predicted he might not make it till Christmas.
Did you specify which Christmas, Joe?
No.
So you got a get-out clause, man.
I guess. I get 2026 maybe. But I'm going to tell you what, they started out poorly in the season. It didn't look good for this team. There was a brand new team gelling together. Guys coming from everywhere, from the NBA, from other teams, from Partizan like Matias Lazor. And he put this team together. Unbelievable story. Coach Ataman, he's going to have that reputation of bringing worst to first over and over again.
So the pull-up three-pointer from Sergio Yui is off the mark. Eddie Tavares battling for it, but possession secured by Panathinaikos. They find Matias Lazor, who intelligently slows things down. Baseline drive from Slukas out to Dinos Matoglu, who doesn't take the three because, again, Panathinaikos will want to work the shot clock down as low as they possibly can. Matias Lazor bumped on the way to the bucket, and the celebrations have begun in earnest now over on the Panathinaikos sideline.
Ron, the best thing that happened to Panathinaikos in this game was the 4th foul by Matias Lazor, because it forced Ataman to go to Matoglu and Papa Petrov. And look at, you got the president, the owner. He can't believe it. Look at the look at.
He knows he's close. Matias Lazor extends the lead to a dozen once again. Baker's dozen, that is, excuse me.
And once again, in EuroLeague, typical EuroLeague fashion, the favorite team does not win the Final Four.
Well, that shot off the iron sees the celebrations increased in intensity. Kostas Lukas fouled on the perimeter. He'll go to the free throw line. And again, what a performance he has produced. This man is a serial winner. 8 EuroLeague championship final appearances, and he's about to become a 4-time EuroLeague champion. Argin Ataman about to lift yet another EuroLeague title. As Joe Lucas was pointing out, the turnaround that Panathinaikos have undergone is remarkable. They were 17th in the regular season standings at the end of the 2022-2023 campaign, and with a 9-23 ledger, just 27%. And here they are on the cusp of their first title since 2011.
Ron, I was watching you last year at times commentating Panathinaikos games with about 1,500 people in the Waka Stadium. It was absolutely the saddest thing I've seen in Greek basketball for Panathinaikos. And this rebound and this comeback and the fact that they're going to be champions is an incredible story.
So Real Madrid continuing to compete, but again, with all that experience, they know that this result is a formality now. Panathinaikos spreading the floor. And these seconds, well, how will they feel? Oh! Kendrick Nunn with a little bit of razzle-dazzle on that punctuation point, flipping the turbo switch, turning on the jets, exploding down the lane, and soaring to the bucket. mark it off one leg to finish with a highlight reel jam. Extraordinary play from Kendrick Nunn. A punctuation point to cap this party that is taking place here at the Uber Arena.
This is just absolutely incredible, Ron.
The fourth quarter has been dominated by Panathinaikos. It's their largest score of the championship game. They have put 31 points on the board while holding Real Madrid to just 16. They shackled Real Madrid to 7 third quarter points. Is Matías Lesor going to try a trifecta? Yes, he does. So that is it. We're going to count this one down as the handshakes come before the final buzzer. Because for the first time since 2011, Panathinaikos returned to the pinnacle of European basketball. The magnificent effort by the Greens, erasing the hurt of their 13-year absence from championship glory. Galvanized by the guidance of that man, Coach Argin Ataman, Panathinaikos power their way to their 7th title. They are the kings of the continent and the EuroLeague champions.
I mean, I'm speechless, Ron. I don't know what to say. This is one of the biggest turnarounds in 1 year that we've seen ever. You felt like Efes, when Ataman did it, was a little bit of a process. This has been just 1 year and he did it. It's Coach Ataman. I mean, I know he didn't get Coach of the Year this year, but you know, he gets it right now in my book.
While FS may have been evolution, the transformation at Panathinaikos comparatively revolution. From 17th in the regular season standings last year, winning 9 of their 34 regular season games. And my goodness, the cellar dwellers have produced a remarkable turnaround, a revamped roster, renewed ambition, all brought together by Coach Argin Ataman, sees them claim their 7th EuroLeague title.
You know what I love about the emotions of this moment? You see guys like Papa Petrao, you see guys like Mitoglu, Matías Lesor, they have their hands on their face and it's disbelief. They can't even believe it. They believe in themselves. They believed in themselves the entire season, but now they can't believe that they actually won this game. And I guess we have 0.9 to go here just to finish things off and make sure Matías gets the game ball.
Well, there is the final buzzer, and what it means is that Panathinaikos are the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague champions. Absolute ecstasy. Tears of joy flowing down the faces of the Panathinaikos players because their star-studded roster has come together, secured by unity, camaraderie, and guided ably by the genius of Argin Ataman from the sidelines. He has made his pre-championship talk tangible. He guaranteed that he would win it. He said there would be a 7th star in the Panathinaikos court and on their jerseys, and he has delivered on his big pre-Final Four talk. Argin Ataman securing yet another EuroLeague title. Just Matteo experiencing defeat at the Final Four for the very first time.
Ron, I heard him after they lost playoff game number 1. I heard Coach Ataman say that if he didn't make it to the Final Four, he won't be back next year. That's how delicate it was for him, at least in his mind.
So there is confirmation of the final scoreline at the conclusion of this incredible championship game. After 4 quarters of back and forth two-way action, we have a final scoreline of Real Madrid 80, Panathinaikos Actor Athens 95, and there are your EuroLeague champions for the 2024 season. Panathinaikos Actor Athens claim title number 7.
And Real Madrid throughout this season been the dominant team, the defending champions. You can't represent the EuroLeague better as defending champions as Real Madrid did throughout the entire season. The 27-7 record, the best ever, the 3-0 sweep in the playoff. But it's that one game in the Final Four that you lose, and it's over. The whole season is done.
The Motorola magic moment comes from the fourth quarter, where Kendrick Nunn blew by a comparatively static Gershon Yabusele, turned on the Jets and took flight to finish with a thunderous one-fisted flush of punctuation points when Panathinaikos had already secured a double-digit margin of advantage. Kendrick Nunn with a Motorola magic moment in this championship finale. Well, a look inside the numbers, Joe. Panathinaikos edging the battle of the boards, and they turning around their shooting percentage. 55% from downtown. The three ball extending Real Madrid's defense and proving to be a reliable zone buster for the Greens. After they went 6 of 11 in the first half, they turned to the three ball extensively in the second. And again, shooting at a terrific clip from three-point territory.
I told you at one point during this game that the one thing, the kryptonite for Real Madrid, is their ineffectiveness from outside the three-point line. If Panathinaikos was able to extend the defense and frustrate them a little bit outside, they were going to have a chance to win this game.
And tonight's Adidas player of the game is the point guard extraordinaire, Kostas Lukas, the all-time leader in terms of championship final appearances, leading from the front. A flawless performance from the field, 4 out of 4 from downtown, 2 out of 2 from two-point territory, 8 of 9 from the free throw line, 3 assists, 24 points in 25 minutes on the floor. Kostas Lukas, tonight's Adidas player of the game. Let's hear from him.
Kostas Lukas, player of the game, EuroLeague champion. How does that feel?
Amazing feeling. Amazing feeling. I cannot describe my feelings. I'm so happy. I'm so proud for my team, for all the organization of Panathinaikos, who make an incredible game. Real Madrid had such an incredible talent, but to stay there, we are solid, and finally we make it. I'm so happy for everybody. I'm so happy for the coach, for Mr. Giannakopoulos, and of course for my teammates. I don't know what
Coach, it starts with the defense, but offensively you carried the load. Where did you dig down deep to give us that performance?
Just, I always say that I have to be aggressive, offensively, defensively. In semi-final I wasn't good because I stay out for 10 days and I try to find my rhythm. But today I was feeling good, so listen to the crowd. I'm so happy, I'm so proud for everybody.
And Coach, Costa, one word for the fans.
So the presentation.
Think about his calendar year. Think about it, from the time he missed the shot last year to going from Olympiacos to Panathinaikos, the hardest move any player can make in Greek basketball, and coming in, that's a year for you, my man.
What a year, and what a way to conclude the campaign. Let's hear from his head coach, Ergin Ataman.
Coach Ataman, the future teller. You promised us a championship and you delivered it in year one. Tell me more.
It's amazing, amazing emotions. We have around 15,000 people here in Berlin. We deserved it all season. We made a great season. Tonight, we go down 15 points. We get let them to 6 points in the first quarter. But we come back. It's amazing. I am very happy. I am very proud. You know that I lost my father one month ago. I am sure that he saw this. He was with me in all champions with Anadolu Efes. Now one more time, thank you for all Greek supporters ve Türkiye'deki bütün vatandaşlarıma da verdikleri destek için teşekkür ediyorum. Thank you all Turkish people that deep support to me. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Congratulations, Coach. Thank you very much.
Stunned into disbelief, Sergio Yui tried manfully to keep his team in contention, but those percentages from downtown going to be tough to compete with. 55% from long range. And again, an absolutely brilliant battling display produced by Panathinaikos to see them secure this championship. Well, the Turkish Airlines flight time play of the Final Four comes from Friday night semi-final, when Matthias Lasor went to work in the low post, getting the spin and the drop step on Tarik Baburovic to rock the rim, jacking his body on the iron. as we take a look at the leaderboard in terms of flight time, and Matthias Lesor's name figuring rather prominently. 4 out of the 5 slots going to the rugged big man on the interior, Matthias Lesor, with a flight time of the final 4.
And I'll tell you what, the emotion of Coach Adam about losing his father a month ago is just more that adds to this incredible story here tonight.
Of the 2024 Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Final Four Berlin. We are now ready to begin with the ceremony. Let's start.
So EuroLeague Basketball CEO, Mr. Paulius Motiejunas, part of the presentation trophy. And that is the precious prize that the teams have been fighting for all season long. Champions indeed. That beautiful Turkish Airlines EuroLeague trophy. Sergio Llull seemingly cannot believe the fate that has befallen Real Madrid here tonight, taking a 14-point lead at 41-27 in the second quarter. They would have expected a rally from Panathinaikos, but they were stone cold in the third quarter, putting just 7 points on the board, and that is going to be difficult to overcome. Panathinaikos went to another level in the fourth quarter, putting 31 points on the board of their own, outscoring Real Madrid by 12. So Sergio Llull out to receive the runners-up trophy for Real Madrid. And right now, that is going to hurt tremendously. Kostas Lukas, deservedly named as the Final Four MVP. What a narrative arc to his incredible career over the last 12 months, because this time last year he found himself in the position where Sergio Llull finds himself tonight. Had the final shot of the game for Olympiacos Piraeus, saw the shot rim out. Real Madrid took their 11th title. He crossed the divide, going from Olympiacos to Panathinaikos, and his leadership, his performance in the championship game sees him duly named as the Final Four MVP. What a magnificent effort for the 4-time champion, man who has won EuroLeague trophies with 3 different teams.
Ron, he's been a class act everywhere he's gone, and you know, a lot of people within the country of Greece hated the move that he made last year, and he took a lot of heat for it, but I'll tell you what, he's made amends, hasn't he, at least for the Panathinaikos fans. Kostas Lukas, your MVP of this year's Final Four, in an incredible season, bringing his team, like you said, from 17th place to raising the trophy.
So Mr. Dejan Bodiroga, the EuroLeague basketball president, part of the presentation party. And now the miniature replicas will be gratefully received by all of the players. Lefterios Mantzoukas, Kostas Antetokounmpo, Luka Vildosa.
What about Vildosa, who hasn't been playing lately?
And that man as well, Panayotis Kalaitzakis, who again came up with some crucial plays, including that defensive play where he bent his back like a limbo dancer to force Sergio Llull into a really difficult field goal attempt that didn't draw iron when he was in search of his Mandarina from mid-range.
And don't forget about that shot he took also in the back going. I mean, this is what, it won't hurt tomorrow, Rod. You're a boxer, you know that. When you win the fight, it doesn't hurt as much the next day. It won't hurt. It would have been painful if they'd have lost that game.
Indeed, victory is a wonderful elixir. Matthias Lesor, you commented on how subdued he was in the first quarter, but my goodness, didn't he bounce back with terrific effect. 17 points in the game, including making 7 of his 10 free throws. Outstanding effort from Matthias Lesor. And you get the sense that this party is going to continue long into the night. Felipe Reyes, Rudy Fernandez, utterly disbelieving as to what has befallen them.
I got Coach Inakis right here in front of me, and on my crossover, he told me, Panathinaikos wins, Slukas is the MVP. Hey.
How about that for pre-finals prognosis?
I need some lottery numbers from him.
Indeed. So Mr. Dejan Bodiroga in possession of the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague trophy, and now all of the Panathinaikos players and front office staff up onto the podium in anticipation of receiving this precious prize. So out to receive the trophy is the newly minted EuroLeague Final Four MVP Kostas Lukas. And he invites head coach Argin Ataman to share this moment with him. Panathinaikos Aktor Athens are the 2024 Turkish Airlines EuroLeague champions. For the 7th time in their long, rich history, Panathinaikos will have a championship banner hanging from the rafters. The president and owner absolutely overcome with emotion as the golden ticker tape flutters down from the rafters here at the Uber Arena. It is Panathinaikos Aktor Athens who bask in the glory of their championship-winning performance. A remarkable turnaround completed over the course of the calendar year. 17th place finishes last season. In came Argin Ataman. In came the star-studded roster that took some time to gel. They were slow out of the gate, but they went on a remarkable run in the closing stages of the regular season, ending it with a magnificent 5-game win streak, winning 8 of their last 9. They were forced to 5 games in the playoffs, and in the Final Four, my goodness, they were absolutely sensational. Rocked early by the offensive juggernaut that is Real Madrid to find themselves down by 14, but their belief remained strong. In Kostas Lukas they trusted, and he guided them to the promised land of a 7th EuroLeague triumph. Panathinaikos Aktor Athens are the EuroLeague champion.
You know, Ron, this is a team sport, and very rarely do you see the team contribute so much. Everybody contributed tonight. Bill Dosa, who didn't even play the other night, comes in and does a great job, frustrates Capasso. Kalitzakis doing what he does best, hitting a 3, hitting a couple free throws. It was an all-out team effort. Slukas is the MVP, but believe me, this team has gelled together in an unbelievable way. It's so hard to imagine that in 1 year you could take so many superstars and make them believe that they can be champions.
And the manner in which he did it, because as you know, Joe, when you assemble a roster of superstars, somebody has got to subsume their role. That man convinced them to buy into the program, to let Kendrick Nunn have the ball in his hands and create shots. Other players would have gotten the ball less, had fewer shots, but he got them all on the same page. And this is a triumph for the team ethos that he has been able to cultivate and implement at Panathinaikos Aktor Athens in his maiden season in charge.
Creating a winning culture normally takes a couple years to get the same team gelling together and everybody on the same page. He's done it in 9 months. Absolutely amazing job, Coach Ataman, making him by far one of the best coaches in the history of the EuroLeague.
So Giannis Antetokounmpo warmly embracing his national teammate Giannis Papapetrou. And again, Kostas Antetokounmpo, championship winner in the NBA, his brother a championship winner with the Milwaukee Bucks in the NBA, and now a EuroLeague triumph here. And again, he's not one of the main contributors, but he's a reliable contributor, as are all the Panathinaikos roster. Coach Adrian Ataman knows that he can call upon his troops, and they're going to go in and be solid and do a job for him.
Yeah, he's another piece of what we were just talking about. He did it on Friday night against Fenner, blocking shots, defending, being all over the place. And he just disrupts other teams' offenses. So, I mean, Ataman tells you, you're going to do this, I'm going to depend on you to do this, and I trust you to do this, and you just go out and do your job. As Coach Bill Belichick said back in the day in the New England Patriots, do your job. And each one of them did it, and they got the championship banner, man.
Well, at times during that championship final, the Panathinaikos owner could barely bring himself to look. It wasn't until the fourth quarter, when they extended out to a double-digit lead that grew to a large margin of 18 at 77-95, that he allowed himself to believe that the dream he had cultivated for so long was about to become a reality. Matthias Lesor beaming from ear to ear, sharing it with his children. And again, he a linchpin of the Panathinaikos green machine.
MVP should be asking Giannis Antetokounmpo to do the interview again. But how does it feel to have carried your whole team? For one game, you get the MVP of the whole competition. That's a heck of a statement.
I told you before that I'm very proud for all the team. I try to give everything. I know that Real Madrid is a great team, but today we show that we deserve to be the championship. We won semi-final 15 points, and today we won again 15 points. That seems that we're the best team in Europe right now. And I'm very proud of all the team, of all of Panathinaikos, and for all the people. Look, I said to you again, 10,000 people is here to support us. They were so thirsty, and we give everything, and finally we took it.
You brought the Oaxaca to Berlin. Surely these fans deserve the credit that you are giving them.
This is amazing, I tell you. Look, listen. This came to everybody. It's amazing feelings. I don't believe like a dream. It's like a dream.
When a team is down, you need the champions, the leaders, to step up. You've got to give yourself some credit for that. That leadership you carried to get your fourth championship, that's something you dug deep. You got a heart, MVP just for the heart.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I give everything always the court. I try always to give 100%. And with my teammates that they hustle everybody, we deserve it and we succeeded. I'm very happy.
Congratulations, Kostas. Thank you.
Well, Kostas Lukas paying tribute to his fans, paying tribute to his teammates, paying tribute to the culture that has been cultivated at Panathinaikos since he made the switch from across the Greek capital. But my goodness, the man should give himself some credit as well. Joining Sarunas Jasikevičius as the only players to lift the EuroLeague trophy with 3 different teams. Olympiakos Piraeus, Fenerbahce Beko Istanbul, and now returning Panathinaikos Aktor Athens to the glory of a EuroLeague title.
I'm glad you told me that, Ron, because I looked at him, I was thinking, he's done this before, hasn't he? He looked he had a lot of composure in that interview with Martin down on the floor.
But what about the man's character coming back from that really difficult semi-final? Yeah. Okay, Panathinaikos prevailed to put themselves in the championship game, but that is testament to his belief in his ability and the work he's put in over the years, and his teammates, that they would follow his lead to bounce back from that slow night in the semi-finals just 2 nights ago to leading his team to the championship here on Sunday.
The worst thing about basketball and sports is also the best thing, and it's you're only as good as your last game, Ron. And that was it. You had a bad game, but you came back. That's what big-time players do.
They've said all season you've got the heart of a lion. That was like a pride of Lions today. You were a monster out there.
Man, I say all year, man, I just want to win. This is the cherry on the cake, man. I can't believe it. I just want my team to win, bro. That's all that matters to me. And I'm speechless, bro. It's amazing what we just done in 1 year together.
Let me ask you then, when the pressure stepped up, free throw shooting has been your Achilles heel all season long, but tonight, for the championship, you nailed 7 out of 10.
I wouldn't say all season it was my Achilles in the playoff. The season I was shooting correctly, but I don't know. I know it's just mental. And I see the coach sub a player in just to foul me, and I took that personal, you know. He hurt my pride to see this, so I was just like, I just took it personal. That's it.
Well, you said in an interview yesterday that hardly anybody knew where you were from. Let's talk about Martinique for a minute. You people back home will be loving this.
Man, this title is for my whole island. I'm the first one to do it. It's just so that it's possible, and that, you know, wherever you're from, whatever you've been through, if you focus, if you believe in yourself, if you work hard, everything is possible. So this for my island, man. This means more than just a title. This crazy, man.
Matthias, you are a great example to everybody who wants to fight the struggle and be a champion. Congratulations. Thank you once more.
Thank you very much.
How wonderful to hear from Matthias Lesor. His parents are in the house. He's there cradling his child in his arms, all the way from the Caribbean island of Martinique, sandwiched in between St. Lucia and Dominica, putting that island on the map. And just look at the emotion that filled Matthias Lesor. He claimed that game ball when the game was restarted with 0.9 seconds left. He could scarcely believe it, but he's a champion.
Kendrick, your first season in the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague, but tonight in the championship game, 3 fouls in the halftime. How did you feel at that point?
I just had to stay composed. I was a little bit too aggressive with my hands, but we've been in that situation before. So just staying composed, believing in my teammates. They stepped up big time, so we did it together.
And you elevated your game deep in the fourth quarter as well to end up with 21 points. That was exceptional. But tell me about Kostas Sloukas. Is he the leader for this team or what?
That boy got a lot of heart. Has a lot of heart. You know what I'm saying? Veteran guard. He's a leader. He leads with his voice. And man, he got it done tonight. He got it done.
And these fans, this is something special, this atmosphere. Athens in Berlin.
Ooh, look at them. They come out. They come out. This is amazing, man. It's amazing. Crazy feeling. Crazy.
So you're loving the EuroLeague right now. What price to get you back next year?
Hey, man, I'm loving it right now. I'm just enjoying this moment. I'm taking it all in.
Kendrick, celebrate with pride. Enjoy it. That was an awesome performance. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, Kendrick Nunn enduring a difficult first quarter, picking up 3 fouls. We said from before the opening tip that the longer, the more he plays, the better Panathinaikos are. Despite picking up 3 first quarter fouls, he ended up accruing 33 minutes on the court and posting 17 points. And again, what a release valve as an offensive outlet.
It's all about Coach Adam and knowing how to use them, when to use them, and trusting his player.
Well, let's hear from Jaren Grant, who again came up big in the clutch.
Jaren, that was a 29-point swing led by defense, and you were at the forefront of it. You held them scoreless from three-point line for 14 shot attempts. How did you dig down and turn it around from the first quarter?
As a team, we knew it's one game. We had 20 minutes left in that second half to bring home the 7-star, and we did that.
The defense is awesome. To get the championship, as promised by your coach, is awesome, and a contrast from one season to another. How much do you feel you have grown this season?
A lot. From day one, you know, Coach told us that our goal was to get to the Final Four and win a championship, and from day one we believed, and we got it done.
And it's a 2-game process as well. You were fantastic in the semi-final also. How did you carry it over? Fatigue was not an issue for you tonight?
No, it was 2 games to call yourself the champions of EuroLeague. So, you know, whatever we had to do, whatever energy we had to get, we were going to do that.
And word to word, for the fans, tell me what you think of these guys.
I really couldn't tell if we were in Berlin or Athens. You know, it feels like Oaxaca. You know, for them, they told us all year they wanted that 7-star, and we got it done for them.
Jaren, 7-star for Panathinaikos, and you're a big part of that. Thank you very much for joining us.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, I can tell you that during that on-court interview conducted by Martin Hanlon with Jaren Grant, that man, Matthias Lesor, has made his way up to the side of our commentary position to engage with the fans who are just behind us. That's where the bass drum was being pounded, and Matthias Lesor leading the cheers. Our commentary position is positively rocking as a result of the reverberation. Matthias Lesor has been a real fan favorite all season long, and he's just concluded those celebrations now, making his way back out onto the court with that replica trophy. What a wonderful moment for he and the fans.
I was a little bit worried about our commentaries.
Coach said at halftime, physicality was what turns this game, and it starts with the bigs of Real Madrid. How did you turn the screws on Tavares and Poirier tonight?
I mean, they are big players. We just have to be physical. Bosky now, all five is a matter of defense. Every five on the court gotta be focused, and I think we did a great job.
Outstanding 1 through 12. Every single player contributed, but you must feel challenged when you're down by 14 points. Could you picture a near 30-point swing?
I mean, listen, at this point, every player is need to win. No, it's not every player gonna score 30 points, I wish. But we gotta do the dirty job. And just the guys, we got a lot of talent on our team, and we play a really good game.
And how do we feel about the Panathinaikos fans?
I mean, from the first day, they love me. They won the 7 stars. 7 stars is here. Yes!
Congratulations, Willie. Thank you.
Well, what a wonderful moment for Hernan Gomez, one of the first-year additions to Panathinaikos at Tour Athens. There is the man named as MVP, Alexander Balcherovsky. What a fantastic moment for him. Didn't get on the floor in the final game. The only player for Coach Adrian Atterman who didn't step onto the floor. But again, he's been a crucial cog in their output all season long.
Yeah, he played in neither one of the 2 games, Ron, but he was so important throughout the season, using his size and his physicality down low. And he's enjoying it just as much.
Well, this is the duality of sport. We've heard the jubilation of Panathinaikos. Let's hear from the vanquished head coach. Here's Chus Mateo.
Coach, that's a real difficult loss to take, but you've got to be proud of the effort your players have made all season long.
Oh, we did a good season, but today in the third quarter especially, we went down and we were not able to understand how to play. Probably we shoot a lot from outside, but their defense was very good, very aggressive, and we did a good job all the season. It's just one game, it's the final. It's a pity for us after this season. Anyway, I'm very proud of my players. I'm very proud of the effort of all of them.
Thank you very much, Coach.
So head coach Chus Mateo, rightly proud of the record-setting effort that Real Madrid produced in that regular season. 10-0 out of the gate, producing a best ever 27-7 ledger. Again, imperious in the semi-finals, started the finals at an incredible clip, but then shackled to just 7 third-quarter points where they went 0 of 9 from downtown. And once they found themselves trailing behind, well, they couldn't get themselves out of the hole.
Why is it so difficult to win as the favorite? I mean, there hasn't been very many favorites like Real Madrid this year, and they could finish the job.
Well, here is a replay of the moment, which saw Real Madrid demoted from championship status and now a footnote in history as former champions. And again, that is the nature of the sport that we love. There can only be one. It's in the sport of boxing where you can have multiple champions of the same territory at once. These guys are undisputed. Just as boxing reached that status in the heavyweight division just a couple of weeks ago when Alexander Usyk bested Tyson Fury in Saudi Arabia, in the sport of basketball, a single, solitary EuroLeague champion will be crowned at the conclusion of each campaign. And there was the moment of coronation. And just look at how much it means to everybody who is involved, from the star players through to the front office staff and everybody in between.
Giannis, the president of the team, is the first part of the emotion of what we're hearing behind us. He's the man that leads it. Sometimes he's been a little bit over-emotional at times, there's no doubt about it. But these fans believe in him. He brought the players to the team, he brought the coach to the team, and he brought the fans back into Oaxaca. And as we've been saying here for the last 20 minutes, brought them to Berlin also. It's a green city right now, Ron.
And it remains a green Uber Arena because plenty of fans are remaining to continue the party here at this magnificent amphitheater for basketball. Remember, the 2016 championship concluded here when CSKA Moscow forced overtime against Fenerbahce Beko Istanbul with that dramatic tip-in at the end of regulation by Victor Kriapa. And that was a final for the ages, and so it has proved here again. It's undergone a name change, but the atmosphere, the sight lines where there isn't a bad one in the house remain the same, and this has provided an absolutely beautiful backdrop for Panathinaikos' return to the summit of European basketball. But at the start, it was Real Madrid who came out blazing. 36 first quarter points, shooting the basketball magnificently, and they were rolling. But crucially, Matías Lesor got going in the second quarter, and that began to change things slowly.
Ron, you know as well as I do, one of the best phrases we use is, it's not the way you start things, it's the way you finish. And Panathinaikos finished with 31 of their own in that fourth quarter and just dominated throughout. And Coach Mateo said it. It was that third quarter that they took too many outside shots, they didn't penetrate. Panathinaikos laid the defense on them and took over.
And they took over by starting to stretch the floor. Jaron Grant, Dinos Matoglu, Kostas Lukas, all hitting from downtown to see them end up at 12 of 22 from long range. Vincent Poirier and his teammates dethroned as EuroLeague champions, stunned into disbelief. That was the punctuation point, the Motorola magic moment. And then once the final buzzer sounded, well, we were left with the contrasting emotions that only sport can deliver. Absolute and utter, unconfined joy for Panathinaikos, Actor Athens, bitter disappointment for Los Blancos. So a final look inside the numbers at the conclusion of what has been an absolutely mesmerizing championship game. A single block from the most potent shot-blocking tandem in the league, Eddie Tavares and Vincent Poirier, but the three-point percentage from Panathinaikos and the volume at which they took it, absolutely crucial in this outcome.
Yeah, I think the big thing was that the one block shot. They had 7 block shots in that semifinal game, which led to so many different fast breaks and easy baskets, but you said it's a three-point percentage, and the fact that Panathinaikos moved the ball around offensively and took advantage of every possession in that last quarter.
So Panathinaikos, Actor Athens, add their name to the roll call for the 7th time, and you can see the gap that existed from their last triumph in 2011 all the way through to 2024. They have ended that trophy drought. Real Madrid's search for their 12th trophy goes on. They were seeking to become back-to-back champions for the 3rd time in their illustrious history, but they couldn't get it done, and it's the emotions of joy and celebration that belong to Panathinaikos Actor Athens. Well, on behalf of the entire team here from the Uber Arena, it just remains for Joe R. Lucas and myself, Ronald McIntosh, to say thank you for staying with us. It's been our privilege to bring it to you. Panathinaikos Actor Athens return to the summit of European basketball.
Thank you. Good luck. There's nothing like it. EuroLeague basketball, best basketball in the world.
Basketball.